All right, we are live on YouTube.
Nice.
And let me go hit live for TikTok. There we go.
Yippee.
We should... I don't know what the deal is. Last time we streamed, for some reason on YouTube, the audio was really quiet.
That's weird.
And I have a feeling that kitties were on the desk.
They probably were on the desk.
And messing with our microphone. Hello!
Hi.
Someone found us.
Yay.
Nizumi XO Dahlia, Ginny Flower. Hello, Ginny. Hello, Dahlia. Hi, Lexi. Art Gumby. Hello. Almond. Hello. There we go. How is our audio on YouTube? Last stream, for some reason, it was really quiet, and I have a feeling that kitties messed something up. But I'm not sure. If you can like check the volume, see what your
You are early, Jenny.
what your device is at, or maybe it was just like a random weirdness.
Hi, Applejack.
And, bro, he is wreaking havoc
Literally
already.
just,
He is.
big boy.
Yeah. He is already wreaking havoc. What?
He's a big boy.
I think our soundboard got pressed.
It probably did.
Or the mouse or something got pressed. Sorry, YouTube just saw a little bit of group stretching. And TikTok might have heard it.
I think they did.
I think they heard it. If you just heard Animal Crossing, big boy.
They probably even saw it too, because the screen was on, or the whole scene was on too.
Yes, Koi, hello, Stuff Maybe, Ginny, Pow Pow. We saw it. Nice. You saw it too? Really? Did everybody? That's
I think
crazy.
everyone saw it. It's funny.
Aluka, Flame,
Flame?
Lao. Did the thing get filled up?
Yes, it did, but it actually didn't get turned on.
Started.
Nope. Ah.
I need a drink.
I need a drink too. Can you give me some water? You know, I should draw June smiling more often, so I will draw her smiling.
Yeah.
It's kind of unusual seeing her smiling. I
What?
want a glass of water. I'm kidding. Thank you. Hey, Mr. Clean. We can teach body muscle. We might.
What should I get?
I think you should get an Alani. You can make a coffee, yeah. Hey, Kritscan. Hey, Lau. Hey, Alika. Sure, do it. You're gonna have an excess. Yeah, that is the first one in months. Months and months since we moved, actually. They're expensive drinks. How's everyone doing today? I think we're just gonna do some drawing and some hangout. I don't exactly know what we're gonna be doing today. We might do tutorials, but it depends on our mood.
Yes. I spent some time last night studying some arm anatomy and muscle stuff. It was pretty fun.
If you want to go and cover that today, you can. I think your arm looked really good. Your arms looked really good.
Yeah. Oh. Been working on art fight noise.
Nice.
Anybody who's watching on YouTube, all 11 people, can y'all tell us if the volume, the audio is good? For some reason, last stream it was really quiet. And Christina, I guess you do have your stream up on your phone.
I do. Oh, awesome, Lau. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of people who will like your stuff.
Yeah, it sounds like it's plenty loud enough to me. I wonder why the VOD was so quiet.
I want to change it to her pose.
Hey guys, been a while. Hello, the Leopard Shifts, Master
Hey.
Magic. Hello. It's all good. It's just gonna take a while. It's
Yeah.
gonna go out there. They're gonna try to deliver it. It's not gonna be able to be delivered. Then they're gonna send it all the way back to us, and then we're gonna have to get around to mailing it out again.
Yeah.
It's a little quiet. I have my volume higher than usual. That's so weird.
So odd.
What? Let me think. Desktop audio. Test. Output? I don't really know. I wonder why. Maybe... Let's see if that fixes it. Hello? Alright, why is it doing this now?
My phone's on really low volume, doesn't sound quiet. Interesting.
Okay, now why is this not going?
I have not seen that Demon Hunters movie. I think it's popped up on my feed though on YouTube, but I never watched it.
Okay, now none of this is playing.
Oh?
Same volume as before. Yeah, I don't... There it goes.
Oh, there it goes.
I don't know why it's so low. Blah, blah, blah. Maybe this? Would that help? Hello? Hello? I have a feeling that a kitty was sneaking around the desk and bumped something, and I have no idea what. YouTube tends to be pretty quiet, though. That's not good. We don't want it to be.
If it tends to be, that probably means it's been quiet for a while.
Yeah. Interesting. I think we have to talk closer to our mics generally. We have these dynamic.
What app do you
mics.
use to draw? We use Procreate.
Hello, Roz Snaz.
Hey.
Do you know Marine Boy? I have no idea what that is.
No idea.
What app? Yes, it is Procreate. Katie, TikTok is fine. We're talking about the YouTube stream. For some reason, YouTube stream tends to be pretty quiet. TikTok is pretty good, though, overall. Like, we need to be, like, this close to the microphone.
Yeah.
I need to keep in mind that sort of thing.
So someone asked me how to draw hands, and when I draw hands, I don't even draw the fingers. I just try to find all the shapes that the fingers create. So, like, oh, this finger is this shape. These two fingers, the middle and the ring finger, are close together, so I just group them into one, like, trapezoid shape. And then the pinky is its own specific shape. And then when I make sure that the palm and the fingers are about the appropriate size, that's how I figure out my hands.
Do I have, like, a...
Oh, thank you, user, for the follow. Thank you, Thizbrill, for the follow. And thank you, Rafe,
How's that?
for the follow.
Is that louder? Chat? Is that suddenly really loud?
I have to use this is Procreate.
Filters. Yes. It's good. Did that make the volume go up a bit? For some reason there was a filter on our microphone. I think it might have gotten messed up. I think it's better. But is it perfect? What about this? This might make me really... Test. Oh, crap. That was really loud.
Oh,
I
boy.
saw it go red like wild.
Oh, no. That probably destroyed people's
To
eardrums.
be fair, I did give a warning. What do I think of Clip Studio Paint? Are you asking yourself? I don't know. What do you think of it? Is it good? Rafe, is that how you say it? R-A-F-E. Thank you for the follow. Oh, you. I have not really used it, but a lot of people really like it.
I've used it and I liked
love
it.
it.
I loved it when I used it back then. And
Volume is good now. That's great. I think it was a filter on our preamp that was not pushed up all the way. I don't know how that got changed.
I don't know.
Maybe it's always been bad. And it was just especially bad last time. I don't know.
Maybe so.
I'm going to buy your drawing book volume 1. Awesome,
Oh,
King
awesome.
Cheese.
Thank you.
Do you have tips when learning anatomy? Think about simplification.
Simplification.
Simplification. What are the simple volumes, right? I was actually learning arms last night.
Do it. You want to switch?
Yeah, I can talk about it a little bit.
Hi, Applejack. Welcome.
So I was learning a little bit about arms last night, and I thought it was pretty interesting. I don't have any of my reference up, but basically you can think about the upper arm as a box that's wider this way than it is this way, or I should say, you know, deeper than it is wide. Like that. Maybe we could even bring this down just a little bit more. How about that? I've been really enjoying learning and studying again, you know. Upper arm. And then the lower arm can sort of be seen as a, let's see, is this the angle that I want to draw it from? How about this? So let's just say that this is the back of the arm, right? You got the bicep on the front. You got the tricep on the back. You got the elbow, which can kind of be seen as like, why does the iPad hate my hand?
I don't know.
You got the elbow, which can kind of be seen as a wedge. You got the brachioradialis, which comes down here. And this upper part of the lower arm can be seen as a cylinder. And then it kind of transitions into a box.
Ooh.
Like that. And so that's kind of a simple breakdown of the arm. If you hold the arm kind of straight out, you end up getting this sort of effect where you get this box here, and this box here of the upper arm, and you get like this kind of chain effect. You have got the deltoid that comes up. What is going on? Cat scratching?
Yeah.
I don't want him to scratch that box. That's not our box. It is Grandma's box.
It is Grandma's box. We might end up having to get a replacement.
There we go. And then you also have basically this chain part on the other side, like this. Is that what it looks like? Right? There's that. There's that. And then this kind of turns into this box of the wrist. Are you looking at chat at all?
Yes, I am.
What's going on?
Lunar Sky says, I have so many streams up, but I had to add another, and it's y'all. Love the content and drawing. And then Happy asks, what are you drawing? Arms.
There we go. So, like, the arm from a really simple point of view kind of looks like that. It's like this box that has, like, another box kind of, like, interlocked on it right here of the lower arm, right?
Kind of looks like a tool.
You can sort of just simplify that. What?
Kind of looks like a wrench.
Yeah, it kind of is like a wrench in a way. You've sort of got this shape like that coming over the arm like that. And of course, this part would sort of come out of there, and it fits onto this upper arm box. And, you know, here's your tricep. Here's this. Your deltoid connects behind the bicep. Sort of like that. It's kind of interesting how that works. That's what I was working on last night, breaking some of that down.
It's the back of the arm, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Back of the arm.
Dahlia says, my homework isn't going to be absolutely amazing this week. That's okay, Dahlia.
I'll show a couple of the drawings that I did last night, breaking this stuff down. I haven't actually drawn it all today. I've been doing other stuff.
Soccer. Hello.
There's a bunch of them.
Draws 14. Thank you for the follow.
So it's like that. It's like that kind of shape. That same thing, right? And it's interesting because the upper arm, this part, you know, the upper arm is sort of wider this way than it is this way from the front. So when you're drawing the upper arm, just make sure you get that box. That's maybe like 1 unit that way. And then this is the foreshortened side. So maybe, you know, you can just go like 1.5 units that way, right? So you can see that. And then this is like your brachioradialis, which connects in up there. I don't know if I actually have a legit...
That one.
Yeah, like right here. brachioradialis connects up here and sort of goes over that bend, and you have your elbow. And I find this really interesting because the elbow will like come out like this, and then you'll have this muscle overlapping and going behind it. So you have like your brachioradialis here, and it'll kind of squish and hook up in there, right? So you can see this already looks like an arm.
Oh, that's a nice
because you got your helmet, what the heck am I saying?
elbow?
Your elbow. I don't even know. I haven't said the word helmet in like, I don't even know how long.
Like in yours.
Maybe some subconscious part of me is like crying for help.
What's going on in there?
I guess I did see a baby with one of those helmets on yesterday that like shapes their head. But anyways, right? Brachioradialis coming down here. This is your ulna, which goes zoop to your pinky side. And then this box of the wrist is going to come through right there, right? So you got sort of this shape. Here's that cylindrical shape, and then here's this box shape down here, and of course your hand.
I would say out of the
is going to come up.
I would say this part's my favorite part to look at. The forearm.
Yeah.
I actually like looking at that part of your
It's
arm.
great, dude.
It's cool.
It's like the double.
girthy.
It's like the double bump of the hips. You're just
Yeah.
it's so
I was
satisfying.
Like, it's good like that.
Right, and so I've been really studying arms because I'm absolutely terrible at arms. So I spent a considerable amount of time last night, like thinking about them and looking at them and doing studies and stuff, right? And so this comes up here, and you've got your box that is wider in the side view than it is in from the bit behind. So let's just say we get this shape coming in here. We got the deltoid. So you got these three muscles, right? You got your bicep on the front, which kind of looks like this.
Mad says, I don't know if we'll be drawing a body today, but there actually is a video on our YouTube channel that talks about how to draw bodies. So if we don't cover today, you can check out that video. If you want to cover bodies today, we can.
We don't really have a plan for today, so we can totally cover bodies at some point.
Okay, sure. It might just be later.
Is that June? Yes, that is June.
That is June.
I've actually been working on an image of June Ionder. You've probably seen it.
Gwenny, Kari, and Fish, thank you for the follow.
I'm actually going to finish it sometime as well. I sent it to Christina a little while back. I'm going to have to find it. Yeah, this one right here. I'm actually planning on finishing this. This one right here. It's June in front of her car in a fisheye camera lens.
That's sick.
And I kind of drew June in a little bit, but been setting up everything and sort of figuring out the composition. And I can't wait to finish.
And meanwhile, I made a more ritzy version of her.
Yeah.
This one.
But anyways, right? So you've got your bicep on the front.
That's a nice
in the
drawing.
middle, you have like your brachialis, which is like this muscle kind of underneath your bicep. And then your tricep kind of comes in behind your bicep and connects like this. And it has three heads, like three sides to it. It's got the front, the middle, and then, you know, like the back. And it kind of goes like that. Your pecs will connect back, you know, in here somewhere.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to talk about the chest muscles right now. And then your tricep comes out back, and it is basically like this split muscle that kind of goes to each side, and it's got like this sort of thing right there.
I've been trying to figure out what kind of shape that's called.
I don't know. It's kind of like, yeah, it kind of goes like that, right? Like your tricep kind of looks like that.
Looks like
it looks
a booty
like
butt.
silly legs from behind, right? But that's really what that is, right?
Yeah.
And you get that roundness there.
Well, even the hamstrings kind of look like that.
Yeah, your arm is actually your leg put on backwards.
Yeah.
Which is wild to me, which is absolutely wild,
So
right?
basically your bicep is kind of like your quad muscles. The biceps are more like your hamstrings. I always get those mixed up. But.
Yeah. So you got your ulna right here, right? You've got your elbow right here. And then on top of here, you've got your extensors. And down here, you've got your flexors.
We got a question. Hi guys, I was wondering if anytime soon are you releasing a set of videos for complete beginners on drawing anime style from start to finish, or do you have a paid course or something?
We do. We
do have a
actually
paid course.
legitimately have a paid course for that
Specific thing.
from start to finish. You know, I can
Pull it
I
up.
can just link it to you in the YouTube chat. It is if you're looking for something like that, you can check out this page. It's like a whole bunch of different classes from the very beginnings. We teach like literally all this stuff. There's a complete anatomy class in it.
Anime heads, anatomy, clothing,
faces,
drawing,
facial expressions, backgrounds, perspective, painting, lighting, everything, like posing, character design, you name it. It's basically in there. It's a really, really big program.
Anime art school.
And it is called Anime Art School. Yeah, we built it and we teach it. And Christina's always been the anatomy person, so I've taken it upon myself to start.
Now I just need to be the perspective person, which seems kind of impossible to me.
Y'all can hear us on TikTok fine, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
that
they
notification
could hear us
must
by
not
now.
be right then.
Thank you, Mellow Chili and 773 Born for the follow.
Get rid of that. There we go. But anyways, interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff.
I really like how you actually simplified that wrist, the empty space in the wrist right there.
This?
Like, but where the hand and the wrist connect.
I
like
just,
empty space.
I just
like
put
that.
a gap, really.
I like it. I like it. Thank you, Dahlia.
You know, there's the hand.
Wow, that actually, it's a very nice looking hand. I really like how that looks. And actually, you don't even have to add this muscle. Sometimes when
What muscle?
this muscle right here, you
Yeah.
can just like tone it down a little bit, and that's like a leaner.
Well, this guy's stronger.
This guy's very
like
strong.
this guy's pretty buff.
Like Victor buff. Ugh.
Yeah, it's Victor muscles, you know. But if you're drawing someone like June, like this is
non-existent.
You don't show that at all. Like what you might get a little bit is a tiny bit of curvature, like right up here. You might get a little bit of elbow that kind of just goes in front of that.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty much the extent of what you would get with an arm like that. You know, I don't want to mess up Christina's nice drawing, but you know, I find it really quite interesting. And so again, it's like I'll go back to some of my drawings from yesterday. There.
Quick question about eyebrows. My character Amity has naturally black hair, but when her powers come, her hair turns purple. Would that mean I have to change my eye color for her too?
Totally up to you.
It's totally up to you. I don't think you have to. I think you can suspend that reality.
You know, here's some more of these from yesterday, from last night. Like you can see there's that
little part. Oh, it's such a nice shape.
brachioradialis, and it kind of just squishes. It's almost like this little, like a little taco.
Taco?
Like a little like thing that kind of squishes. Well, these kind of go over like that. And it kind of looks like this.
I think it looks like toothpaste.
And so it kind of like comes in like this when it squishes.
Looks like a glute muscle, actually.
It kind of does. And when it stretches out,
was Discord pinged? I don't know if was it pinged.
it's kind of a lot more. No, I never pinged.
No, it's a secret
Y'all
stream.
have found a secret stream, right? And so if you'll see it here, it kind of becomes more like that. And there's a couple muscles in there, right? There's like a couple of them, but it essentially goes like this, and that's on the side of your arm right here, right? And so I drew a whole bunch of these last night. I thought it was actually really fun. Bridgman kind of breaks it down like this. It's sort of interesting. It kind of has like these opposing boxes, but this one's not by, like I drew this one, but this is more of a similar breakdown to what you would see in, what's that guy's name?
Which guy?
Bombs. Gottfried Bombs. He's written an anatomy book that's really good. It's an old school anatomy book. Very good stuff.
What I find is that this bicep and this brachialis will have this kind of little T shape right there.
Yep, definitely.
And then they'll have the elbow.
Yeah, you want to show that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So what Christina basically drew is she said that what she finds is you get a lot of this kind of stuff, like this little T shape right in here that kind of just overlaps, right? You get like the bicep coming down like this, and then you get the brachioradialis coming over like that. And you'll see how did you do it? And you'll see like, you know, maybe a little indication of the back of it, and then the tricep is up here. You have the elbow, and then you can have that, you know, come out like that.
That's like a simplification.
Yeah. And then, of course, the deltoid up here is going to be...
How to draw snatched arms.
Sort of like that. So you get this little overlapping T shape.
Hello, chaotic.
And so I decided that I'm probably gonna stream a little bit more, but I'm gonna use the streams a little bit more to study just my own.
Ooh,
my
Katsua's
own
here.
stuff. Hello,
Katsua, thanks for
Katsua.
getting anime art school. Katsua got anime art school.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. A couple people got it recently. Katsua, do you want to get a watercolor for your character or whatever? Are you interested in that? Yeah, it's really interesting how that all works. And so I just try to draw it. Like, I would say if you're practicing something, the cat, hello?
Bit of quiet says art time. Yes, art time.
If you're having trouble understanding something, try to draw it more times rather than like spending, 10 hours on one box or on one drawing. Right? Try to spend 10 hours doing as many drawings as possible.
Yeah.
As many as
Ooh, Katsu says
possible.
Awesome.
So draw something a bunch of times. And it doesn't matter if you mess up on them because you're just going to draw it over and over and over and over again from a bunch of different angles, right? So for example, I did some arms last night and my sheet of arms, I only spent like an hour or two on it, looked like this. Like I just drew it as many stinking times as I possibly could. I tried drawing it from every angle, in every way, and if I'm not understanding it, and there were even some deleted drawings that I don't even have on here, and I'm just trying to draw it over and over and over and over and over and over and over, right? And I did the exact same thing with shoes recently. I don't know if where was that?
Ooh, Cranberry and Sophie, thank you for the follow.
So if you have difficulty drawing shoes, I have to scroll way up. I don't think I ever saved the drawings of shoes. Here's some of them. They're posted in a channel.
Kato, you can just DM it to me.
Here's some shoes, right? And so it was pretty much my first time drawing shoes. And all I did was just draw them as many times as possible from as many different angles as possible. And I'm looking at pictures and trying to study the forms of how they break down, right? So with like a shoe, I'll go, well, foot, right? I drew some foots the other day on stream. Some feet? Foots?
Feet.
Right? And I'm just like, okay, we've got this chunk right here. We've got...
Oh, I like the song. Ivy and SMC, thank you for the follow.
This chunk right here of the foot. And then we've basically got, like, this front chunk, like the toes as well. So it kind of would look like that. And then we've got the... how would this hook in? It'd kind of be like that, right? Like that. And there's the ankle. Let me go ahead and select this out and move it.
I need to get better at drawing legs for men.
And so maybe we'll do something like that. And then when we put them together, you can go, okay, well, there's that, there's that, there's that, there's that piece that hooks in, there's the heel, here's the ankle, that goes up like that, and then we'll put the toe box in, and it could be something like that. And you just draw it over and over and over and over from a whole bunch of different angles. I actually have some of my sketches from Livestream of just drawing a foot from a whole bunch of different angles, trying to understand that simple form. And so I did that exact same thing with the arm last night, right? And I would say if you want to learn how to do something, instead of going like, I'm going to do one really detailed arm study to end all arm studies. Mm-hmm. Well, the human body's too complicated. It moves in too many ways. And so it's like you could do a really detailed study of the arm like this, but then what happens if you're like this? And so draw it from a whole bunch of different angles, look at a bunch of different references, really figure that out. And I would say, instead of spending 10 hours on one drawing, just spend 10 hours doing as many drawings as you possibly can and really trying to understand, like, what's going on? What are these forms? And it'll really help. It'll really, really help.
Yeah, Naya, thank you for the follow. It's good to know that the toe part of the shoe kind of goes up in an angle rather than going straight
some
down.
of them do.
Some of them do.
Some of them are actually flat too.
Yeah.
Like some of them will be like very flat. And it'll be like, and they'll look like this. Like, and they'll be
Yeah.
completely flat on the ground. And so that's another reason that you want to do a whole bunch of studies. You want to try a whole bunch of different things. You know. And draw all of them. Really try to draw a bunch of different ones and do a lot of different kind of stuff, you know. So it's pretty much what I have to say about that. This is really important stuff here.
This is really cool. I
Right?
kind of like thinking of shoes as like that side profile, like I don't know, that shape. It looks really
Yeah, and I'll measure as well. Like I'll measure visually, and I'll go, well, okay, so this comes down and it goes here, and it kind of changes direction and goes around. I'll go, where is the lowest part of the shoe in relation to this part right here, or where is this part of the shoe in relation to that part right there? And so I'll look at that for a bunch of different kinds of shoes as I'm drawing, and you'll start to build this kind of like mental set of like proportions where you're just like, okay, where is this part that comes over in relation to this part that comes down? And in your mind, you'll start to build like a library of kind of like what these things are. It's like your visual library, right? What things look like, where things are located, where things are placed.
Kyle just asked, how long are you streaming for?
No idea.
No idea yet. We're thinking initially about an hour, but we may go a little bit over than that.
Yeah.
I mean, if Katsu's OC is ready, would you be fine with doing a watercolor today?
I want to just do some art right now.
Sure, no problem. I don't know if we'll
maybe
do it
later
exactly
today.
Maybe later today. We'll see. Okay, thank you for the follow.
If you're still around.
I'm having trouble using the box body method in female torsos. Any tips? Can you help me to draw
Box?
one, please?
Box body method. I'm not
Like
really sure.
like
what you
simplifying the
mean.
torso with a box. You can use
Maybe.
the envelope method if you want. You can cover that if you want. And yes, we're doing great. I think when you're drawing a female torso, make sure that you have like this kind of general hourglass shape. Your waist, which is the bottom of your rib cage, and then it goes out to your hips. That the waist part is the thinnest area. So there's going to be that hourglass shape that goes from triangle, gets thinner, and then gets wider. So you can morph your boxes to fit that shape. How are the kitties doing? They're doing great.
Yeah, they are doing pretty good.
I'm just redrawing my character so you can get an updated character. Awesome, no problem. You can just send it whenever it's ready.
Where's my drink at?
There. Hey, Kato.
Yeah, the cats are doing pretty good. I would love to clean up this desk a bit.
Do you have any tips to be a faster drawer?
Draw more. And
Yeah.
time restrictions as well.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to do gestures faster, do like minute and a half gestures, right? Like, I think it's very dangerous for students to try to get faster because speed comes with experience and it also comes with practicing speed. You kind of need both. Like, you can't do something fast. Like, if you barely know a language, you can't speak fast in that language, right? So, number one is, like, understanding and drawing a lot. And number two is actually practicing it. Like, so, for example, if you want to learn how to read faster, well, first you have to be very fluent in that language. And then secondly, you have to actually learn how to speed read. And there's, like, techniques, right? So, generally, the faster artists focus on big to small. They go large to start, they focus on big shapes, and then they move into small details, and then they will selectively draw details to pull your attention away from areas that are not detailed, thus making the drawing come together faster. It's really a matter of that, right? Like, if you want to be able to draw a gesture fast, you'd probably go, okay, I'm gonna think of
My torso
Yeah.
direction.
torso direction and this, you know, and maybe my weighted leg, and then say, here's my pelvis, and then maybe this will come out.
Like getting the bare essentials first.
Yeah.
rather than trying to do everything at once, which leads to overly detailing too early.
Yeah.
And it also depends on the assignment, right? Like, if I'm telling you to draw, like, 20 gestures and spend 5 minutes on each of them, like, you're going to have to do your drawings in 5 minutes. But if you find yourself, like, spending an hour instead, like, maybe you can find out, like, okay, where are you noodling too much on? Or, like, where are you struggling, like, to draw slow in?
To draw fast in?
To draw fast in. Have we done it's just drawing eyes? It could also just be that you maybe feel too scared. A lot of the time, stress and fear tends to make you slow down because it's like trying to protect you from making a mistake. But I think like just going into the drawing without thinking about like making it look perfect, that can probably speed it up because it's all about mileage, right? What matters is, did you do the drawings? Not is every drawing perfect.
Yeah, and you just do a whole bunch of them. Like, this was a very, very quick gesture, and it's accurate enough that it could be made more accurate later. Mm-hmm. Like, you can add... Who's this? Toby? Little Toby Bean?
Oh, Tobean.
Toby Cat Bean? Ugh. Toby Kitty? What are you doing up here?
Hi there.
Come on. He so... There. Kitty! He so wants to explore the desk, but I'm not going to let you. Because you're going to wreak havoc. Oh, they're so cute. Look at him.
Tobby. Tobathy.
Oh, he's so wound up. All right. Go on. He was trying to climb up me. So I'm like, okay, I'll bring him up.
Cherry, thank you for the follow. Orchid, thank you for the follow. And Otters, thank you for the follow.
You know, we can take what we learned and we can go, okay, brachioradialis, like that.
Oh, you might need to move that over a little bit. Yeah, definitely perfectionism can slow you down a lot. And because you're like, I'm trying to make this line perfect. And if it's not perfect, I gotta redraw it. And that, yeah, and it just really slows you down. I think it's like, think of the drawing as good enough next. Good enough next.
Yeah, like you literally just move on to the next one. Like you don't even think about it. Just go like, I did my best on that one. It's the number that you do that's gonna get you good. It's not the quality of any individual drawing. It's the number. I think we took a figure drawing from classes from Will Weston a whole bunch of times. He's a really well-known figure drawing teacher. And he was always saying it's not the quality but the quantity that's going to get you really good. You focus on quantity and then do your best on each individual one.
Artemis says, undo button needs to be used less. Colton tells me this sometimes if I'm undoing too much. He's like, take your hand off the undo button. Just like put it behind your back and then draw. And only use the eraser button or just the eraser tool like to redraw things.
Or just draw traditionally with no eraser or no undo.
Yeah.
You know, like what I'll do is I'll draw with a pencil, but I won't have an eraser. I'll have a kneaded eraser sitting like somewhere a little ways away. So if I really have to erase, I'll go and I'll grab it and I'll erase. But other than that, like I'll just leave it way over there. And you just spend less time erasing, spend less time, being unsure of yourself and put a stroke down and own it.
Yeah. I'm a traditional artist, but I'm really trying to make a transition to digital. I draw on an iPad, and it's hard to get used to it. What should I do to improve?
Nothing. Nothing other than what you're currently doing. Just keep drawing on it. You'll get used to it.
Yep.
I remember my first time drawing on the iPad. I hated it. I thought it was so difficult. Yeah. I still think it's kind of difficult.
Yeah, no, sometimes I'll do my homework for perspective on my iPad, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so hard to draw on. Yeah. But if I'm like drawing on another thing, like traditionally or on a Cintiq, it's like, okay, it's a little bit easier. The reason why iPads are really hard to draw on is because it's very slippery. And when you're drawing traditionally, the paper has natural grip along with your pen. So it makes you draw smoother. But with a digital thing, it's like not as much grip. So that's why it can feel awkward.
Yeah,
but you'll
and you
get
can
used
test
to it.
Stuff as well.
Yeah. I mean, for us, we have a screen protector that has a little bit of grit. Which definitely feels very good. But we've also drawn on the iPad without it, and it's also fine. because I've drawn on it a lot. I have a hard time capturing the pelvic box. Do you have any advice? Know the perspective of where your pelvic box is. Is it tilting down? Is it to the side? Is it twisting?
Yeah, like at the end of the day, you're not really going to see the box.
Right.
Some people draw it different ways. Some people will draw the pelvic box like really, really thin, I've noticed.
Yeah.
Like they'll draw it like this thin.
I mean, it kind of makes sense.
But then the pelvic box at the end of the day is you're coming down the 3-fingered gap. You're coming to the middle right here. And then this area right here is where basically the legs come out of. The legs will bend at your 3-finger gap. So like, you know, it'll go like that. But a pelvic box this thin doesn't account for the muscles. So you'd have to put on like,
you have to add the volume.
the glutes.
Well, I think it makes sense because if you draw the pelvic box like too thick and you add the muscles on top, it's going to make the pelvis look really, really big. So some people like would make it smaller and then they would just add the volume on top. Yeah. Can you teach me how to draw feet?
I don't really draw feet that much. I mean, other than like this.
Yeah, I would say...
I haven't done an in-depth study.
I
was reading Peanut and I said nutty. Study of feet. Yeah, I just done like the basics. Just the simple forms.
Yeah.
Christina might know how to draw feet a lot better. I don't remember.
My feet aren't all that great.
But yeah, pelvic
They're
box,
okay.
right? And like I would say if you want to draw the pelvic box, it's pretty much always going to be in relation to the torso. So you can draw a torso box and you can draw a pelvis box, say, like this. And then these are always going to connect back together.
What brush are you using?
And then it's really that same thing again. 3-finger gap comes into the middle, right? Legs come out from here.
What brush are you using? The brush you can find on our profile, or since you're on YouTube, you can go to our drawanime.com and get the brush there. It's a download file. What about the male head? It confuses me. Male head, the more you use the skull, the more of a masculine head it'll look like. So you can find like how the planes of the face move back and forth in space on the head. So like a lot of time when people are drawing heads, they're thinking of like, oh, the nose is a specific shape, but I don't really know how it moves on the face. Like I don't know how deep it goes into the face or how much it comes out. So I would say side profile is actually quite good at showing that.
3-finger gap, THREE. It's basically you put 3 fingers together and you put it on your pelvis and then you bend your leg. That's about how much room there's going to be. This right here, it about 3 fingers will fit. It's the anterior posterior spine of the iliac crest, but that's a lot to say. So we just label it the 3-finger gap because about 3 fingers fit there. It's just this front part of the pelvis. Mm-hmm. And on the outside of that front part, you've got some muscles, you've got your tensor fasciae latae, and then on the inside of that pelvis bowl, you've got your sartorius coming down the other side right here. But it's a little much to cover on a little stream. Mm-hmm. And this is more important anyways, because if this stuff is lined up right, then it's easy to put the rest in. Learning a bunch of complicated anatomy without being able to set up like the simple volumes is not going to help. You know, I mean, complicated anatomy and stuff is good to learn and everything, but it's these proportional systems that are the most important because it lays your foundation. It's the concrete and the frame of your house, not the pictures that hang on the wall.
I want to ask you tips on how I can improve my male and female upper and lower body.
If you want to take over and draw, this one's kind of fun right here. I actually kind of like this one.
Sure. I can take over.
Sure. What if this one went like this?
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, we're covering hands and feet this week for our live class.
Oh, sick, dude. Kind of went off the page.
It's okay.
You know, and then he's like looking back like, whoa.
He's like running.
Oh no, someone's chasing me.
Someone's grabbing me.
You can take over drawing if you want.
Sure. How do you make guys look handsome looking?
There's a lot of different ways.
A lot of different ways. And also
it depends on your taste.
It does depend on your tastes. Let me see here. All right. We'll talk a little bit about upper and lower male and female bodies. I'm not going to cover anatomy, but I'm more going to cover more
This
of like...
is my sketchbook.
Yeah.
You should grab your own sketchbook for stream.
Yeah. I've only just been drawing on this page. I haven't drawn on any other page.
Yeah.
But anyways.
I just know we both have like 5 each.
Yeah, we do. This one is a little bit smaller.
You got the brush? Nice.
Awesome. Yeah, so male and female bodies, as long as you get, I mean, we're always going to say, as long as you get the shape and the proportion right, like, it will just look like a male and female body.
Yeah.
So, for me, for a male body, the upper body tends to be wider on the top, and towards the pelvis, it gets narrower. So generally, this part includes your clavicle, your pecs, and how much it expands on the rib cage. Your pelvis area is basically like, this is the bottom of your rib cage, right here. Your pelvis is about that same width as the rib cage. So that's why it has this really nice, like, kind of triangular trapezoidal shape. Your legs, for guys, this is very important, they will not go like this. That's a female.
Unless
hips.
Unless you're Squidward and you just ate a bunch of Krabby Patties.
That's true. Unless that happened. But generally.
And then you'll blow up.
Yeah. You want to make sure that this is very narrow. So don't widen the hips. Yes, the muscles can widen some parts of the hips, but keep it narrow and it's going to look more like a male body. In fact, I would even go as far as to just keep it within this constraint.
Yes. By the way, if you are new here, we do have a Discord server.
Yep.
We do have a Discord server. And you can direct message us and ask for the invite. If you're on TikTok, if you're on YouTube, you can just go down to the description and you'll see our website and the invite is on there.
Mm-hmm. And then for the female, and by the way, make sure that your upper body and your lower body is about the same height. So take this measurement, move it down. Should be about here, but I maybe I made it a little bit too short, but that's okay. It looks generally okay. Doesn't have to be exact, but has to be approximately.
Mm-hmm.
Then for the female body, I'm going to make her a little bit shorter, but I'll make sure that they're on the same length. They're the same.
See how Christina's starting with the total height of the figure?
Yeah.
She's not starting with any particular detail. She's going, how tall do I want this character?
Mm-hmm.
And then she's dividing up that singular line proportionally.
Yep. And then I'll fit my upper body in here. And so for the female upper body, as I mentioned before, it's more of an hourglass shape. I'm talking more about like a leaner body type, not like plus size or anything. Because for the most part, we can always change those things. But for now, we want to make sure that this has an hourglass shape. So this up here, your clavicle, your shoulders, a bit of your pecs. Down here is the bottom of your rib cage. Then your hips come out and your body basically connects to those points, and that creates the hourglass shape. So this waist area is like the most narrow part of the female body. That's why we have this curvature, and the hips are wider. So if you find that your male bodies look kind of feminine, it's because you're making the hips look like this. That's feminine. This is masculine. See the difference?
I need to practice that more, bro. I don't, honestly, the thing is, like, I don't really feel like practicing it because I literally never want to draw guys ever.
I agree. I don't really draw guys that much. But yeah. Now, if you want to mix the two, like if you want a more masculine female body type, you can still maintain this hourglass shape, but maybe make her a little bit stockier. If you want a more feminine, masculine shape, you can maybe just add less muscles to make him leaner, make him smoother as well. So yeah, and then hip-wise, leg-wise, it's all the same proportion, but we'll see that for the female legs, their hips to the knees are going to be more like a Y shape. So notice how much wider this is and how much thicker this is. Female bodies also have a lot more fat percentage than guys do. So sometimes you'll see that guys' legs kind of look like twigs, while their upper bodies look more built. But for girls, it's kind of the opposite. Maybe their upper body looks a little bit like smaller, while their hip area looks larger. There's also, once again, different body types for women and men. I think with girls it's kind of a bit more obvious because there's just different like percentages of fat that different parts of the body like to go to. Some people have a larger upper body and a smaller lower body. Some people have a larger lower body and a smaller upper body. So yeah. Hourglass. So I like to think of women like a vase. See? It's like a vase shape. But if we did that for a guy, it wouldn't really look that masculine. So for guys, let me think. This is kind of silly, but I kind of like to think of guys' bodies like a bucket. Just very sturdy. Just kind of straight. Vase and a bucket. I don't know. Just more like a barrel. Body T. Thank you. Hey, Tickle Monster. Thank you, Tora Chan and Joey for the.
We ended up hitting 17,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel. We're actually at 17.1 now.
Oh, sweet.
But yeah,
that's awesome.
We've been grinding out the YouTube stuff. So the place that we're going to be uploading the vast majority of our content these days is YouTube, as long form content. Probably some shorts as well.
Yeah.
But mostly long form content.
I mean, a guy's upper body is also like an upside down triangle or trapezoid, whichever it is that you want to use. And then for a girl, it's like triangles on the top and the bottom. So yeah, I don't have to add any anatomy on top. I just had to change the shape of the body, and now looks like a male and a female body. Dorito chip, yeah, basically. It's an upside down triangle. Doritos. I have a character that is more on the masculine side, who's a girl. So for me, what I do is I still maintain an hourglass shape, but I make it a little bit more minimal, and I like to focus a lot more on her upper body and a smaller chest. So like if you want a more androgynous type body type, this will be good. Stronger arms, so like maybe emphasizing the deltoid. Stronger pose. Right now it still looks like a girl, but she's tougher. She looks tougher. Miki, on the other hand, which is Colton's character, has a more of a kind of like a peppy, like cutesy body type. So
I subbed. Awesome, thank you.
Awesome, thank you.
June is the best girl. I think we do need more June fans, honestly.
I think we do need more June fans.
100%.
So I'll just draw my character's hair real quick. There we go. And then Miki, she's the more like, she's like sporty feminine, but she's also like pretty feminine. So that means hourglass, but she's not busty. So I keep the chest pretty small. But shoulders are smaller.
Violet says, I love June. Great. I love that. That's good. That's good.
I like
when
June
should
too.
we should get in contact with David to bring him on.
Yeah,
That'd
we
be
should.
pretty fun.
Yeah. So yeah.
Oh, Burin got back to me as well.
Oh, awesome.
How the heck do I get rid of stupid streamer mode on Discord? Get this out of here, bro.
So yeah, this one has a stronger hourglass, softer features, like not as much muscle definition. This one has more definition, but still keeps that hourglass shape. So now we got two body types that are like just slightly different.
I feel like Colton has changed his stance on Miki. I haven't heard it as much. Miki is best. Miki is the best, for the record, like for once and for always, forever. However, I do need to focus on, it's like leg day, like Miki is upper body day and all the others are leg day, and you can't skip leg day even if you want to. But yes, Miki is the best. I mean, she's the one on the book cover.
Along with Miko in another book cover. Someone is asking about how to make men look handsome, which I think is always really funny, because I know that a lot of our viewers love the feminine,
Girl,
handsome
pretty boys.
man, pretty boys. My personal, what I think is more handsome is like someone that looks more, I guess, older, more like her. I don't know. Like I find that more to be more interesting than like a pretty boy. But it obviously depends on the character. Like if there's a pretty boy character that actually is meant to be a pretty boy and he's actually meant to be a really good character, then I'm like, okay, I can suspend my reality, and I actually will like it. And I do draw those kind of characters because it's a very attractive type of character. So if you want to do that, you want to blend femininity with masculinity. This is very masculine, very square, and they're both great. By the way, I'm not saying one is more handsome than the other. They're just different kinds. People have different types. Some people might like the more squarish jawed character, and others might like a more softer triangular type.
This is like
shape.
the DC comic artist.
Yeah,
type.
this is the DC comic artist type, like the Clark Kent and the Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. The really
which
the heavy brow ridge.
The heavy brow ridge, the really
the cheekbones that you can see.
Yeah.
The really deep brow ridge with the big thick eyebrows, with the tiny eyes.
Yeah. This is the.
And then they have the little things that come out the sides of the nose here.
Oh yeah. They'll have a more defined nose. Now I'm drawing this really quickly, so this kind of looks ugly, but bear with me. They'll have like these little eye bags sometimes. They'll have
the mouth has been really wide. What?
That was not good.
I don't know if they will fade out the mouth in the middle, do they?
They probably don't. I'm fading them out.
It's more like a DC style. Anime would fade it out.
Yeah, anime would fade it out.
Like the creases. Oh, they always have the crease right here by the brow.
Oh, the crease like that?
Yeah, they have that, but also.
Oh yeah, they have that too. So.
Like that. There you go.
Yeah. So that has a lot of like. Every part that makes a guy look older and more like squarish, they add, and that's why this type looks like that. Yeah. But for the more pretty boy type character, they actually make it more feminine. So
like
that
when
means
Patrick was like, "May I take your hat?" Like, that's what I think of, like the pretty boys. They're like, oh, they're glorious. They got all the makeup. They're little blemishes.
Yep, and then and then their necks are very thick, like tree trunks.
Yep.
So this is this is like extreme masculinity.
This is like Hitchum Hobji.
Yeah.
Like Hitchum Hobji guys.
Yeah.
He is the artist that draws these
and then
types
if you
of
want,
characters.
you can add in that facial hair.
I'll look up.
Looks pretty dapper now.
I'll look up Hitchum Hobji for you guys so you know what I'm talking about.
And this is like Green Arrow, right? Kind of feels like a Green Arrow type dude, goatee and stuff. That looks cool. There's that character. And then there's a softer version, but also very sharp. So this is like soft and sharp. This is like blocky and sharp.
Images.
And then...
Here we go. Like, Hitchum Hobji.
Yeah,
art.
Hitchum Hobji art. That's like...
Right? Like, really...
mine's not as good as his, but...
Oh, Hitchum Hobji's a legend.
He's a legend.
He's a legend.
Should we make him bald? Yeah, we'll make him bald. Nah.
Right, like...
Maybe we'll give him some hair.
Like, Hitchum Hobji's so good. Like, his stuff is so good.
Oh, it's so good. This is the more feminine
character.
one. This is like a bit more...
Look at that head size, bro.
Oh my gosh, his head is so tiny.
I'm gonna make my character 16 heads tall.
Yeah.
But Hitchum Hobji is also really good at girls, too. Like...
Yeah. Ooh, so feminine, so cute.
That's so cute.
So demure. I really like that.
We took a class by Hitchum Hobji, actually. Yeah, this guy's... Oh, here's a bunch more heads. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Bottom. And then on the left is more feminine. Mm-hmm. There's a Vegeta.
Oh, yeah, there's a Vegeta where?
Right here.
I would say, like, Dragon Ball Z is, like, the masculine anime, like the anime version of masculine, like in terms of the style.
Yeah.
Like they're very very like high cheekbones.
Hitchum Hobji did these artworks of John Wick. It's so good.
Really? I want to
He's so
see.
good, dude.
Oh, that's so good. I love that. I love that so much.
Like this kind of stuff. There's his name. That's how you spell it, by the way.
Hitchum
Hitchum Hobji. I don't know how to say
Hibachi?
it exactly. Hobchi. Habchi is his last name. Hicham. I don't know where the name originates.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, this is, I would say like this one is more like Western style.
Yeah.
Handsome. Hollywood type. This one is more Asian.
Dang, dude. I need to take like a mentorship, like a character mentorship by someone really good and just have them like annihilate me with homework.
Annihilate you with homework, yeah. This one's more like the Asian beauty standards. This is Western beauty standards. This is Asian beauty standards, right? I would say Asian beauty standards are very extreme, but you know, we're going with it. This is what people like. So here, in this case, we still want to capture those brow ridge, that sharp nose. So in here, we're going in with the corner of the nose, the corner of the brow ridge right here. That's right here.
My eye?
No.
No, I mean you poked my eye.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all good.
Sharper nose, so that means usually the nose would be pretty straight and more triangular. Still has the essence of a masculine character. Wide mouth, for the most part. But instead of super tiny mouths and a lot of wrinkles, you have a very sharp eye style. Low brow.
Bro, this stupid stuff makes me burp way more than Alani's.
That's so funny. And then, you know.
How do you design hair?
Handsome.
Study hairstyles. For sure.
I had a little crisis when I decided I need a handsome man character. I can't decide what handsome is. I think it's more like, what's the purpose of this handsome character? Like, is this supposed to be like... Is your character supposed to be a hunk? Or is this character supposed to be like a womanizer type handsome? So I think it's like just different degrees of like vibes. So I like to think of that. Because handsome, once again, will look very different for other people. And then a lot of people like to draw these very wispy hairstyles. I don't know. A part of me really likes talking about this stuff because
guilty pleasure.
It's a guilty pleasure, and I kind of like to trash on this type for some reason. I think it's because I've just seen it so many times after watching so much anime.
Just numb.
I'm just numb to it. I'm just completely numb to it. Then I'm like, oh yeah, this is just your classic, you know, handsome, pretty boy anime character that's meant to, you know, make every of the fangirls like gush over him, and that's his purpose. You know, that there's nothing more to this character unless they write it to be, right? Anyways, it's my little rant. Oh, I think it's because solo leveling. Anyways,
solo leveling.
I think solo leveling did this.
Solo leveling would be like this, except you'd have like that.
Oh yeah.
Instead, you know?
Yeah, she would. He would. I meant. Wait, hold on. I want to try this. You know, and some people think that really sharp chins like this is very handsome.
Oh, I didn't say it was bad looking. I just say this would be solo
I'm just saying
leveling.
This would be solo leveling. Yeah.
What I think doesn't matter.
You know that.
Oh, that's good stuff.
It works. It works.
Hey, honestly,
it's a style.
It is what it is, you know.
Well, yeah. I don't know. I like I don't know. This guy just looks punchable to me. I just want to like. You think he's so hot, huh? I hope that you find someone that hates your guts and you fall in love with her. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. Was there an anime with that whole premise? Yeah, probably.
No idea.
I have no idea.
Anyways, what's next?
I don't know what's next. So Sanji Zora, yeah, kind of like that.
The vase and the barrel, that's kind of good.
Oh, thanks.
That
or
would
bucket.
be good to go in a video.
Yeah.
The bucket.
I would say barrel is more appropriate.
Barrel-chested, man. That's why they say that. Like, the big barrel-chested. Isn't that what they say? Isn't that a thing? Like, they say, oh, what does it mean to be barreled? Let's see that. What does it mean to be...
What app we're using? This is Procreate.
Barrel-chested refers to a physical characteristic where the chest appears rounded and bulging, resembling a barrel.
Oh.
Typically caused by chronic lung conditions.
Oh.
Okay, that's actually bad.
Okay,
I thought it meant you were like ripped.
I thought it meant you were ripped, so never mind. We're using the bucket. We're using a bucket. Bucket and a vase.
Maybe it can also be a good thing in times.
But I think another thing about these vases, like these vase body types, is that you can actually change the vase to make it a different shape. So like some people maybe have a vase shape that looks more like this. Equally as pretty. You know, there's one that's more like that. Oh. You know, wait a second. I want to try to make characters out of these. I think that'd be kind of fun. So like if I were to make a body type like this would be a little bit difficult. But I would go like thin.
Wouter Tulp would be the best.
Yeah.
For this type of exercise.
I would say like maybe just for the simplest example, kind of maybe it would look like that. That would be this vase shape. And then for this one, would maybe be like a taller, wider upper body. That kind of feels like it's like a corset. Perhaps. I don't know. I'm just experimenting.
Do you all know a good breakdown for arm anatomy shapes like a channel or book? There's a lot of them. If you want to go like really hardcore, you could look into something like Gottfried Baum's. He has a really good anatomy book. It's pretty old school. You could look into Stonehouse's Anatomy. That's a Korean book that has really good breakdowns of anatomy, very in-depth. I mean, we have a book. We do talk about arms in it, if you're interested in that. Let me think. Bridgman has some really good stuff that talks about arms, although I find his drawings a little bit kind of vague and not that descriptive, but it is still good stuff. There's a lot of anatomy books. Just look up like the most popular art anatomy books or something, and a lot of them will cover that sort of thing.
This guy's so funny. What should we name him?
Jumbo.
Jumbo? Jim?
Jimbo.
Jimmy?
Jimbo.
Jimbo? Jimbo?
Jimboobie. Jimbooby. Jimbooby. How's that? How are you? We're doing good, Tira. How are you?
Hey. His name is Jim Boopy. Chin out. No, call him legs.
You know, I wanted to make that coffee table book that had all the cursed drawings.
No, Bootleg is a character that's pretty handsome from Genshin. Sorry, what was that?
The coffee table book that we want to make.
Yeah.
With all the cursed...
Oh my gosh, I still want to make that.
I so
want to make that. That would be so cool.
Michael Hampton glosses over it in his book, and I'm lost. Yeah, Michael Hampton's book is really good as like an overall picture, but it's not like a really in-depth anatomy book. He kind of simplifies a lot of stuff. We took his class. Well, we took class by Christian Nicorda, who teaches the same kind of method that Michael Hampton teaches. I think they're buddies. I never took any of Michael Hampton's classes live, although I've taken some of his classes and watched a lot of his content and really studied his book. It's good. It's a little bit. I don't think Michael Hampton actually likes his book that much anymore. I think he thinks it's a little bit like dated, and it's like, you know, you always get like that. You do something a long time ago, and then you're like, man, I would make that so much better now. Yeah. But it is a really good book. Like I would say, as far as Michael Hampton's book goes, it is probably one of the best resources on like looking at figures holistically from a figure drawing perspective. It is not really an anatomy book. That's what it is. Figure drawing, design, and invention. Like, it's really, really good for what it is, but it doesn't really break down anatomy that much. You'd probably want something more like Bridgman or Bombs or Stonehouse. You know what I mean? Or like a Ray Bustos type deal, where it's like really about the muscles and the striations. Morpho, yeah, that's a pretty good one as well. I find Morpho's drawings pretty good. Some of them are a little bit some of them are like a little bit scratchy. Like I think he knows the anatomy, but I don't think he spent like a lot of time on some of the drawings. I think especially for a beginner, they're like sometimes they get a little bit vague, but it is a really good book, and I think it's worth getting and studying. If you want to go just the next step past cylinders for arms,
Do it.
I would say look into something like this, which is like upper arm is a box that's narrower from the front and wider from the side. Lower arm is a cylinder that turns into a box like this. Kind of drawing at a really weird angle. So upper arm is a box that's rounded, that's wider in the side view than it is in the front view, and the lower arm, here's that radiobrachialis, is like a cylinder that turns into a box. And so, pardon my horrible drawing from the side, but this one shows it a little bit better, right? This one's like, you can really see this box right here.
Florence, I think you would follow.
Here's this box, and then you've got basically this cylinder that turns into a box. And that is like the step after cylinder arms, I would say. And then from this form, you can actually start like pulling the muscles out of it and studying the individual muscles. Do you like Sam Does art? He seems like a very genuine guy. I don't know him personally. I haven't really seen much of his content, but he seems cool. Like I feel like he'd be the type of person where he's actually seems like a really good dude. But I don't know him personally. But from what I've seen, like, can I do the same with a girl arm? Yeah, it just wouldn't be that intense. Do you want to do like a girl arm? It'd be really, it'd be like a really
girl arm is
simplified version of that. Like smoothed out, very smoothed out. All that would be real smooth.
Just that. This is more talking about like a slimmer girl.
Yeah.
So for me, like if you just look at this, he bulked this out a lot more. Like he actually emphasized the muscles, like the bicep, the tricep. For this one, it's also because girls don't have that much testosterone.
Yeah.
So the muscles aren't as big, but you can definitely add a little bit of the deltoid like overlap, like that.
You'd get
like
those
that.
really subtle overlaps.
Very subtle overlaps.
But you would absolutely get them. They'd just be like this little teeny tiny overlap.
Tiny, yeah.
It's like if you're to draw a shape, right? Like a bean, you've got this shape, right? Let's just say you have this shape.
Mm-hmm.
If you just come in here and you go like that,
Ooh.
you've created an overlap in this area that gives dimension to the form, right? And that form would go like this.
Yeah.
That's what you would do with the arms. Like, you need to know the elbow goes in front of those flexors, right? Just right down here, like that little overlap right there. Elbows in front, flexors come out back, and just that teeny tiny little T shape can help a lot. Oh, and another book that's really good is Anatomy for Sculptors.
Anatomy for Sculptors is great.
Anatomy for Sculptors is a really good book.
Anatomy for Sculptors. Pardon my bad handwriting. I'm trying to write a little bit neater. I'm gonna rewrite this part. There. Very good book.
Oh, all
pick
care art. How do you say that exactly? Thank you. Welcome to the Ray tier.
Yippee!
Awesome.
Whoa. QN.
All P-Car art or all P-Care art. Yeah, welcome to the Ray tier. Congrats. Wait. I haven't done this in a little while. There you go. Appreciate it. And we'll give one of these for good measure just because.
I've been in my learning era for drawing muscles. Nice, Lily.
Yippee.
It's honestly, I think muscles seem really intimidating because, I mean, for one, they are intimidating because if you get it wrong, it's gonna be very obvious that it's wrong because a lot of people have seen people. They're used to seeing what muscles generally look like. So when something's off, you're like, oh, that's very obvious. Meanwhile, with the car,
all P care art. Awesome.
all P care. Okay, awesome.
Well, thank you. Congrats on getting to the Ray tier.
How do you draw arms for plus size girls? It will depend, but how I've seen it is it will start out the same way, but it's going to be like a lot more jello-like, for lack of a better term. Just going to be thicker. Still has that same like integrity. It's just going to be smoother. Have a bit more rolls, thicker. You're gonna see a bit more fat pad on the elbows because there's not fat growing from the bone. It overlaps over the bone. So sometimes you'll see like this little indentation, not indentation, like this little dimple. Let me actually make the arm more like this. You'll see a dimple, and you'll see some layers. And then you'll also see like kind of a fat pad below here as well. Now I would say, look at reference for it to be a bit more accurate, but that's generally how fat likes to roll over the arms. Hands also tend to get a little bit thicker as well. And then you can add in the bust, which gives more context to the body type. And smoother shoulders. All right, I'm just adding a little bit more because I want to show context. I'm kind of drawing over the body, but that's how it would make it feel more like a plus size.
Jamal, thank you for the follow. What is everybody doing these days, anyways? Anything interesting going on? Anybody in the States celebrating tomorrow? We're going over to my aunt's place. We're going to be having a meal. Tomorrow's also our anniversary.
It is. I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I kind of did too.
Honestly, for people who are like, you forgot our anniversary. I'd be like, well, I forgot it too. So
yeah. Well, here's the deal, right? I'm the least patriotic person ever. And so everybody's celebrating on the 4th, and so I needed a reason to celebrate as well. So we got married on the 4th because I wanted to be able to celebrate with everybody else. Oh, that's fun, Artemis. Fun. Thank you, Lily. Free firework, yeah.
Free fireworks.
Going on a date tomorrow. Nice.
Ooh, nice. I haven't drawn Naomi in a very long time, so I feel like drawing her real quick.
Who?
Naomi.
All right, Koi, have a good one. Finally finished Squid Games. Nice.
How was it? I never watched Squid Games.
Yeah. Nighty night, Scribble Mouse. I finally got Cyberpunk 2077 working in VR. my not Oculus, my Valve Index, the cable wasn't working, and so I had to get a new cable, and then it's working now. So I'm actually gonna be doing some virtual reality stuff for the next YouTube video.
Sick.
I have a perspective video idea that involves walking around in video games in virtual reality and talking about perspective and how we see the world and stuff. I've been working on for a little bit.
I kind of miss drawing Naomi. Not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm excited for that video. I think it's gonna turn out really good.
We do have a Discord server, by the way, if you are new. Speaking of new, who is new here? Dang, look at these shoes that Hip Jim Hobchi drew. Those are actually pretty sick.
Holy heckin' schmeckin'. That's
cool.
Those are cool.
That's good stuff. Look at those shoes. I love chunky shoes like that. He's so good.
Thank you, Days, for the follow.
It's like a redesign of like, is that Astro Boy? Or not Astro Boy, or like, what is that?
Metal? I don't know.
What is this? Mega Man.
Mega Man.
Not Astro Boy.
Looks kind of similar.
That's kind of cool.
I was thinking metal, but I'm like, that's not metal.
Yeah, if you're new.
Welcome.
Live. Meep. Stuff maybe you're not new. First time in stream, I'm so nervous. Yeah. Maybe you can cope by quoting every dumb thing we say. I love cats. Thank you for the follow. But yeah, if you are new, we do have a Discord server. We do go live every single week. These days, we're generally going live Mondays and Fridays, but we were actually thinking about going live more in between.
Yeah.
To hang out, chill, kind of like we are right now. It's actually a Thursday.
Yeah, I feel
and
like
so, yeah, if you want to join the Discord server, get updates. We actually never announced in the Discord that we were going live today because it's a secret stream. But you can send us a direct message and ask for the invite. A bunch of people in it. It's a lot of fun. People share art, hang out in the voice channels. A bunch of people are doing art fight with each other right now.
They're probably on voice calls just doing that.
Yeah, there's literally like I can literally go to the Discord server right now, and there are currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15
Holy
people
heck,
in voice channels.
Well, that's great.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them are live drawing.
Oh my. They're probably doing art fight. Do you also do watercolor for Chibi class? We don't do watercolors for Chibi class. We usually do OC drawing for Chibi class. We do the watercolor portraits for anime art school. Unless you're talking about this. This is
that's more of a recent
That's more
thing.
of a recent thing. This is not.
But the Chibi art class, you know, that could be fun.
That could be fun.
If we're going to start doing those more.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're planning on doing any of that today.
Probably not.
But the Chibi art class promotion with the OC drawing happened when we used to do OC drawing a lot.
Yeah. This though, you get of your own character if you get anime art school. And place with our 2 books if you want our 2 books. Yeah. I love doing the watercolors. They're like kind of comforting to me. So I would say like that's kind of like an additional commission in a way, but it's like an added bonus. Enjoying summer off campus until next month for fall semester. Awesome. LP Care Art says yes, I'm new here. Awesome, yay! How did you find us, by the way? Were we on your FYP? Or were we on your homepage? LP Care.
Hello.
I haven't gotten used to use my Chibi art class because I've been busy with school. That's okay, Artemis. It's there for you.
Well.
Huh?
Tisk tisk. No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
It's all good. Like
it's all self-paced.
That's what it's for. It's just to be there, to exist, for your convenience.
Mm-hmm. I like this hair stuff for Naomi. It's kind of cute. For some reason, I can't draw body parts from boxes like I do with circles, spheres, and cylinders. Yeah, that's fine. I think bodies using boxes finds a perspective. It just takes a lot more work. That's why I'm actually going to be covering a video on this in a bit, but that's why I like using something called the envelope method, where it's like you're just drawing the torso with like a simple rectangle that you split in half and you bend. And then you can use that as like your perspective. So you can turn this into like more of a cylindrical form, or you can make it a little bit more boxy. It really doesn't really matter. It's kind of like a blend of both.
Hunty, welcome. Just found us. Awesome. Welcome to the stream.
Yeah. I always like to think of it like a pillow in a way. where it's slightly rounded but also kind of boxy. So you can try this as well. But yeah, there's definitely people who prefer to use cylinders. Like they'll just break down the torso, like into a cylinder, and then they turn the pelvis into a cylinder. That definitely works. I find that it's kind of harder in some ways to like add on top, especially like, oh, where do you put the breasts? But I mean, it really just depends. If you know the foundation, you can really start with any process.
It's almost like what Gene was talking about with cars in his video. He's like, you know, some people will do it with the tires, starting with the tires. Some people will do it starting with a box. Some people doing it with the ground shadow. Like, all of them work.
Yeah.
Like, you can start the body with a box. You can start the body with a cylinder. You can start the body with a gesture. Like, any of them are valid. Mm-hmm. Any of them are totally valid. Amazing artists start with any process.
Any process.
It's just figuring out. It's like just learning in a repetition.
Yeah, they're just doing...
As you improve, you will get more familiar with the body. And you'll be able to use any method to start. And then you'll kind of just fall into one that works best for you.
Yeah, like, as long as you get the result that you want, and it's like, it just looks like a person, like, then you can start with anything.
What's the hardest thing for you both to draw? I would say, for me, the hardest thing to draw is something I've never drawn before.
Yeah.
Like, that's basically how it is for everybody, right? The hardest thing to draw is something you've never drawn because you don't know what it looks like. You have no practice with it. For me, that would probably be like animals. I find animals very difficult. I haven't really practiced drawing them much. I never really studied how they work, their anatomy, structures, the forms, and all that kind of stuff.
Plum and Maine, thank you for the follow. Lenny, thank you for the follow. I just bought 3 of your courses on Udemy. Wish me luck on all of them.
Awesome.
Good luck. Thank
Good
you
luck.
for getting them. Yumi and Sharky, thank you for the follow. And Lenny, thank you for the follow.
How long are we on? Not sure.
I don't know.
Just kind of however long. Hello? I can't really read your name very well. Scrambled? Is that it?
I think,
or is
oh
that
yeah.
a C? Crambled. I think it's scrambled.
Where? Oh.
Usoap, Plum,
Scrambled.
Maine. Usoap, Jazz. Think of the follows. Violet, hello.
I find that back views are quite difficult for me. I don't draw them very often.
How do you guys stay consistent with drawing? I notice that I know what to do to get better, but I'm aware what I need to study, but man, it's hard. You know, this was a big thing for me for a really long time. And I found that I had this toxic mentality with art where I felt like there were things that I needed to be doing and it made me resist doing them because it's almost like this, you know, like you have to do this thing so you don't want to do it. And so getting art into this idea of like doing it for fun and just enjoying the process of learning and growing, that's a really big one. Like knowing what, like that logical part of your brain isn't the thing that motivates you. And so working on something that really inspires you and makes you excited is really important. I don't really know if I'm explaining it all that well.
I think it's like a cycle where you go through where you think you should you know that drawing will improve, but then you don't because it feels like a drag. And then you're like, well, I don't want it to be a drag, so I just kind of avoid it. And then you're like, well, but I really should practice. So it kind of, it's like doing chores, or it's like it's like if you're forced to practice an instrument, instead of your parents forcing you to practice an instrument, it's like you yourself trying to force it, and you're like, and you just don't feel like it. I don't know how to describe it. It's counterintuitive. Does that make sense? Let me think. It's hard to explain. I know exactly what you're thinking, Colton, because we've been talking about this for a while before. I would say it's like when you think you should do something, that's like a judgment. That's like, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, therefore I'm not doing good, so I have to do it.
It has to do with self-criticism.
Yeah.
Where like if you think you should be doing something and so you're not, and when you don't do that thing you criticize yourself,
You
and
feel
it
shame.
just creates this negative feedback loop where I criticize myself for not doing the thing I should be doing, and it causes me to avoid it more. And so my solution to it was I allow myself to do whatever I want guilt-free, and then I approach it from a healthy perspective of why do I want to draw? What makes me passionate about drawing and creating art? And approach it from that angle where I'm allowed to get distracted. I'm allowed to not study the anatomy. I'm allowed to do whatever I want without guilt. And so if I don't do it, I'm not criticizing myself. And the way that I do it is I approach it from, well, why do I want to learn art in the first place? What do I feel like I have to, that the world needs to hear? And approaching it in this positive mindset. That really helped me a lot. I've been drawing a ridiculous amount lately, and I'm allowed to stop whenever I want without guilt.
Yeah. Well, you started thinking of practicing art as less like, if I don't do this, I'm a failure too.
Yeah.
I actually genuinely want to learn and I enjoy learning it.
Yeah. It's really changed it for me like crazy. Like I went from like I wouldn't draw hardly at all for weeks and weeks and even months to like I can't stop drawing every single day. And I know that anytime I want to get distracted, I can without criticizing myself and guilting myself. And so that temptation of, oh man, there's this video out there that I want to watch. It creates this like scarcity mindset where if there's a video out there that you want to watch, but you know you should be drawing, now the video is this forbidden fruit. So you so badly want to go watch it. But if you know you can go watch it anytime, it's like, well, I can do it tomorrow. I could do it the next day without guilt. And that really solved it for me. I don't think that's everybody's problem, but I definitely know that some people deal with that. Taking distractions out of the forbidden fruit category and putting them in the I can do it whenever I want. I'm allowed.
When you don't practice for a bit, you feel like you might get worse, so I force myself to draw. See, that part is like just powering through. Like you have that fear that's driving you to draw. Whereas people who like have a passion for drawing, like they draw because it's fun. Now, I'm not saying that, like, I understand your feeling completely with, oh, if I don't practice, I'll get worse. But it's like, sometimes it's okay. You know, like it's, if you don't feel like practicing, like right this second, like you can be like, I'll practice when I feel like it. Sometimes it just happens like that too.
It's not a race.
It's not a race.
It's not a race. You're not falling behind because that implies something else is ahead of you. Like you're not in a competition with anybody. It's simply because you enjoy it and you like it and fall in love with it without expectations or without criticism of yourself. Oh, I should be better, or I'm this age and I'm only this good, and then there's this person who's this age and they're way better than me and they're so much younger. That's like a really toxic mindset to get into, and it's just completely, it's like this really false belief. Be on your own journey in your own time and enjoy art for yourself, and you don't have to practice this many hours or this amount of time. You're allowed to get distracted and really pull from why do you really want to do it in the first place, and try to channel that energy.
I think it's pressure to be good enough at a certain age and get a good career.
Yeah, and that's part of the problem that with like social media and stuff is it's like everybody feels like they're constantly in this race and this competition with some random 13-year-old in some other state that you're never going to meet, and he's probably going to quit art and go be, I don't even know, like an engineer anyways, and you're like, it's like this mental competition with some perception of some person out there that you don't know anything about, and then it ends up that the 13-year-old was actually some 26-year-old who was just tracing AI anyways, and it's like I just ruined my art career because of that. You know, like it's just this totally wrong mindset. Approach art out of your love for
creating,
exploring and creating and enjoying the process without having to rush. And there's no scarcity. There's no, there's no lack.
There's no limit.
There's no lack of time to get better. You can go at your own pace.
And it's like it's almost like pressure to be good enough at a certain age and get a good career.
Yeah.
I think that's unrealistic.
Yeah.
Like I don't mean to not be ambitious. It doesn't mean to not set a goal. But when that goal becomes a toxic goal and you start having a toxic relationship with that goal, because maybe in your heart you're not in the right place with art, like that's when it becomes a problem. Like with you, there's nothing wrong with I want to get a job, I want to get an art job at before I'm 20 or before I'm 21. But then you have to also look at where you're at right now and be like, okay, I understand that. How do I explain this? I feel like you're a good example of this because you were that way where you're like, I'm gonna go to FZD, which is a art school, and I'm gonna get a job by 21, and you did do it. But I think it came out with a cost.
Yeah, I think you can be really ambitious in a healthy way and practice a lot, and I think you can be really ambitious and practice a lot in an unhealthy way, and the unhealthy way a lot of the time will lead to this really rough burnout that where it becomes a chore. And what happened in my brain is I literally started to affiliate practice with negativity. Like whenever I thought about practicing art, it was just all these negative things that came to mind. And I'm like, man, like why did I even get into art in the first place? So I just start like reprogramming my brain to go sitting down and practicing ended up turning into like this yucky eat your vegetables type deal. And it was always toxic for so long. And I had to start like reversing my mentality on that. Like art didn't become this thing I did for fun. Art became this obligation that I needed to do in order to prove, like, you know what I mean? In order to like prove that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
To prove that you can do it or prove that you can make it or whatever.
Yeah. I think when it starts coming from a rooting of when your thoughts start rooting into I'm going to be a failure if I don't practice today. Like that's when things get toxic rather than oh my gosh, I can't wait to just practice. I can't wait to learn this new thing.
Yeah.
Like it's just where's your heart at, you know?
I always feel this way. It feels like chores, but how do I change my mindset? Just like reversing what you tell yourself on a daily basis. Like be careful of language like should or need to do this. Like obligating yourself into like just give yourself the freedom. I have to force
myself to do this. It's like,
give yourself the freedom to not, right? Give yourself the total freedom to not have to do something. Like I don't have to practice right now. I could go get distracted with something. I'm not a bad person or guilty of anything if I don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's definitely part of it. Yeah, I get to practice my art.
Yeah.
What was Kevin saying? It's like the only thing you have to do is die. Everything else you get to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like I get to draw. I get to take out the trash. I get to do my homework. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
It's like this. It's this idea of like this gratitude mindset.
Yeah. Well, I think when you start, I think people think of drawing and art as this. Let me try to think. Art is a very emotional thing. It's not this mechanical thing that you just practice and you'll get good, and it's much more complex than that. And I feel like some people, they think of it as like this ultra competitive sport when it's not always like that for some people. I feel like you have to look at how do you view art, right? Because some people view art very differently. Some people view art as completely a hobby that they just do on their own time. They're not necessarily focusing on trying to be the best artist. They're just trying to be like, you know, this is my hobby. This is where I'm at. And this is how my relationship with art is. Some people are like, my goal is to be extremely good at realistic art or just be really good designer, whether that's in like environment or vehicle design or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so they'll treat it like kind of like a sport, like an Olympic sport, and they just grind it out, and that's what makes them happy. Other people, they're like, I just like drawing, I just want to create to draw my characters.
Yeah.
And that's what matters to me. So I think try to find that inner purpose with art instead of trying to be like, I have to reach this goal, because it's like, know your why. Like, why do I even want to improve this much? Why do I feel like I don't have time? In reality, it's not a race, because there's people, I mean, you've seen this, Colton. There's people who are in their 30s who have never drawn art, who have never done art before, and they get started because they really want to have a career in art, and they know their path to get to art, and then they get there. It's not too late or anything.
Yeah.
It's just, I think it's like an ego thing, you know?
This is actually a really funny comment. Someone says, "Why do you only draw sexualized anime girls?" First off, I think this is really funny because what happens is people show up on stream for like 2 seconds, never seen our content before, have no idea what we do. They see someone drawing a pair of legs and they're like, "Oh, that looks sexy. Why do you only do this?"
I know.
It's like I mean, if you want to see the past streams, like literally almost all of the stuff from recent has nothing to do with that. Like this was characters in foreshortening. That's Christina's character, right? You can see these are Kren's cubes. Is this a sexy anime girl? What about this?
Oh.
What about that? So like people will show up for like 2 seconds on stream. They'll see something and they'll assume it's your entire story. We have literally 2 books published, and almost the entire book has nothing to do with sexualized anime girls. Like, and I would say none of the book does. I shouldn't say almost the entire book. None of the book does. Is this a sexy anime girl? What about Victor? Let's go find Victor. What about this? Uh-oh.
Well, it's because they only focus on the...
It's just silly.
Yeah.
It's just silly. Like, that's the... And I think that's a really good point because that's what you do in your mind. You, like, go to a stream and someone posts an amazing drawing and they're like, "I'm 13." And you go, "Oh, no, I'm so pathetic. I'm 26 and I'm horrible at drawing." And like people will do this, well, they'll kind of base this entire idea, this entire mentality on one really small snippet of information. And this actually ties into what we've been talking about the whole time, right? Which is don't base what you believe on like one tiny snippet of information, right? Because like what artists learn how to do, and it's really toxic, is they treat everything they see as a way to criticize themselves.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I see this artist and they're young and they're really good at drawing. How can I turn that into how I'm bad? Or how can I turn that into how I'm
not good enough? How can I tell myself today that I'm a loser?
Yeah, it's like that's what people do in their brains, and it's like if I don't practice art today, how like my brain is going to turn that into how I didn't do good enough. And it's like when that happens over and over and over and over and over, it's like no wonder you don't want to show up and practice. Every single time you do and don't, it's a criticism to yourself by yourself. And I think it's really...
Like, you're your own worst critic. Like,
yeah,
that's where the saying comes from.
And it's all a matter of perception.
Yeah.
It's really all a matter of perception.
Yeah, you can take screenshots.
You missed that foreshortening stream live. Yeah, it's still on
It's still on YouTube.
Yeah, it's still on YouTube. It's recorded on our VODs. Our YouTube channel is Draw Anime Academy. It's the same name. But like, I think it's funny because you see this, and it happens a lot on TikTok. Honestly, as much as I hate to say it, I don't hate to say it at all. Actually, if you're on TikTok, like I would literally just like delete the app. Like it's so toxic. It creates such a toxic mindset for so many people. But that's like what social media is. It's like these knee-jerk instant reactions to things with no understanding of nuance or context. And that's like so much social media these days. And then you do that same thing with yourself in your mind with art. You see some random post by a nameless channel and they just say, "I'm 13," and it's like this drawing, and, it looks amazing, and you're just like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so pathetic. I'm 27 or I'm 20 and I'm not as good as that drawing."
And I would even be careful of those kind of posts because those posts are very very egocentric type posts where it's like, "Look at how good I am. I'm 13 and you suck." It's like,
and being kind with yourself.
Yeah, being kind with yourself.
Eliminating criticism of yourself does not mean like you're glazing yourself and being a yes man.
Yeah.
It means you're not beating yourself up for normal human experiences.
Yeah.
I did my best. Or, right? It's like you can't expect a home run every single time you do anything. It's like you try to draw something you've never tried to draw before.
You have unrealistic expectations.
Creating unrealistic expectations. You try to draw something you've never drawn before and you have difficulty with it. And then beating yourself up because you didn't make this masterpiece. It's like that's unrealistic expectations.
Yeah.
And then it happens over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And then it's like, why can't I draw? Why can't I show up and draw and enjoy it? It's like,
well, what do you tell yourself?
Because there's been that habit a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like acknowledging my mistakes.
Do we go live on other apps? Yeah, Josh, we're actually live on YouTube right now as well. Draw Anime Academy is our channel.
Yes.
And yeah, we're live there. It's actually a much larger view of this screen too. You can pretty much see the whole screen on the iPad instead of just like a cropped version of it.
Mm-hmm. And I find that, you know, and I felt this way where I used to be jealous of other artists that were around my age that were way better than I was. And I realized that the only person that was harming was me. Like, I'm like, what am I doing being jealous and beating myself up over someone who has a completely different life than me? I'm just like, I'm where I'm at right now. Like, I live a completely different life than this other person. And it's like learning to be content with where I am too, and also continuing that journey is what helped me to get rid of jealousy of other artists. Because in the end, it's like, once again, it's not a competition. Like, you may think it's a competition because you're competing with yourself. You're trying to prove something to yourself that you're worthy, whether if it's in art or in a career or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, that's not.
It's almost like a person who races only to get trophies who doesn't actually like races. It's like, would you rather be the person who runs races, doesn't win every time, but has so much fun, and you get to the end of your life and you're just like, man, that was so much fun? Or the person who runs races, only tries to get trophies, doesn't even like running. You get to the end of your life and you have this shelf full of trophies, and you're just like, I wasn't happy at all my entire life. Like, because that's what people do. It's like, is your goal to make good art, or is your goal to enjoy making art? Mm-hmm. Right? And the funny thing is that the people who enjoy making art end up being the ones who start to make good art because they actually want to show up. They actually want to practice. They actually enjoy it. They retain information better because their brains are enjoying it. It's like this weird, almost like contradiction or something. It's like the way to get good at art is to not need to get good at art and to focus instead on something else, like enjoying it.
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
Well,
like,
I think it's because when you're trying to be like, I just want to get good at art, you're thinking results.
Yeah.
You're not thinking journey.
Results oriented.
You're more results oriented.
And another thing is that really contributes to the mentality of beating yourself up, because if you don't get your trophy, you beat yourself up over it. And it's like, I didn't make a good drawing, I'm terrible. It's more like, did I show up and enjoy it? And it's like, also celebrate small wins, right? Like, for example, YouTube videos. For me, I'd made YouTube videos for a long time, and I would not enjoy making them at all. And if something didn't blow up or get a bunch of views, I would treat it like a failure. And when in reality, it's like, celebrate small wins. Really focus on celebrating small wins. Like, okay, my YouTube video didn't perform in terms of views, but I learned like 3 new ways to edit something. That's like, those are 3 new wins. 3 wins. And if we're focused on only hitting a home run and not stopping to appreciate those little wins, like my drawing that I did overall didn't turn out, but you know, I really actually understood how to draw that foot better. That's a win.
Yeah, that's a successful
win.
Drawing.
It's a success.
And not only that, but like, think of, just eliminate the idea of failure. Failure is actually part of success.
Yeah.
It's like, I also don't think that failure is even a bad thing. It's just,
it's perception.
And I don't even like the word failure,
Yeah.
because it's like, failure means it's like a permanent thing.
Yeah, failure is like this black and white word. It's like, if you get up to draw every day, like let's say you want to learn figure drawing, right? Or anything. Someone says they're a guitarist for 26 years, right? If you get up and you want to learn guitar, and you're like, I'm going to practice every single day for 7 days. And on day 1, you get up and you don't do it right. Is that a failure? It's not, right? Because failure is like a permanent thing. But if you're practicing all 7 days, you can't fail on day 1 because you still have 2 through 7.
Yeah.
So like, it's this language that we tell ourselves. It's like this very black and white language. Like, oh, I failed. It's like, well, failure in your mind is like this permanent thing, and if you haven't quit, then it can't actually be a failure.
Right.
And I don't know, it's like this kind of like trick that we tell ourselves where it's like, oh man, I didn't do this well, it's a failure. And it's like, no, it's not. Like, it's really not a failure. And you'll hear a lot of times like, oh, the only time you fail is when you quit. And in a way that is true. It's like quitting is a permanent thing. Like, if you quit permanently.
I think people think that by criticizing themselves, they think they're being productive.
Yeah.
But that's not true at all. You're actually being less productive. I actually saw a video about how self-compassion actually really helps with productivity.
Yeah.
And it's like, just imagine an environment of yourself where you're doing the thing that you quote unquote should be doing, but you're not scolding yourself at all. Like, you're not like, you don't have this negative, you're not punishing yourself. Like, you're doing this and you're not even going to punish yourself. And you're like, wait a second, like, I would actually enjoy working with myself more because I don't have to worry about saying to myself that I'm a failure anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know how to say it other than, like, it's just...
You know. And I think there is really a lot to that idea of the forbidden fruit.
Yeah.
Like, if I tell myself I'm not allowed to do something, what do I want to do? I want to do that thing. Because when you categorize something into the category of not allowed to do this, what happens is it flips this switch in your brain that makes it a scarce resource. If there's not very much water, you want the water. If there's not very much, whatever, you want the whatever. So by saying I'm not allowed to watch this video or I'm not allowed to get distracted, all of a sudden it makes it that much more tempting.
You just want to get distracted.
Your brain's just like, I'm not allowed, which means that there's a scarcity of this. I want it even more now. It activates that scarcity mindset, That's what people in sales do a lot as well, Scarcity and urgency. Scarcity is quantity, urgency is time. And if you've ever studied marketing, that is how to get the brain to do stuff. So what we're really doing is we're marketing to ourselves why we should get distracted by not allowing ourselves to get distracted. Is that the weirdest thing, right?
That is so weird. Oh, something that I think is interesting. Someone was saying how, like, I really want to draw and practice, but I just pick up the pencil and I don't do anything. I feel like you should go and just think about, how does drawing make you feel? Do you feel scared? Do you feel like when I draw, you feel hopeless? Because that's where the root of the problem comes from. It's not the fact that you need to draw that's the problem. It's what's going on. Once again, it's a deeper issue. It's like, because for me, drawing is not really that big of a deal for me. I draw because I feel like it, and when I don't feel like drawing, then I just don't draw. But to some people, it's like this really paralyzing experience where when they draw, they get like this kind of, there's a mixture of negativity and fear. Yeah. And we just don't know like what that fear is. So I feel like you should dive deep into that root.
That's really interesting because you go, oh, when I want to draw, I draw. When I don't feel like drawing, I don't draw, with no strings attached.
No strings attached.
No strings attached. Not, I don't draw when I don't feel like it, but then I guilt myself and say I should be drawing. It's, no, I don't draw, and I don't even tell myself I should be. I go, I'm allowed to not draw. And that's really interesting because it's like, if you want to become a professional artist, you have to allow yourself to not draw with no strings attached and no guilt. You have to allow yourself to watch that video with no strings attached and no guilt. Because you have to eliminate that idea that distraction is a scarcity, or like it's this really desirable thing. It's like, I can get distracted whenever I want. I could get distracted tomorrow, right? I could, like, oh man, there's this video that came out, but I'm drawing right now. Oh, I really shouldn't watch this video, but then you go and do. And it's like, if you go, yeah, I could totally watch this video, right? And then you go watch the video, you don't punish yourself, you don't go, crap, I should have been drawing, oh no, I wasted another XYZ amount of time. And then you beat yourself up and it starts that negative feedback loop again. Instead, it's just like, totally fine. I follow through with, I'm not going to punish myself. I'm going to show up tomorrow and
draw again.
I'm allowed.
Yeah. Like I have, like if I'm awake for 12 hours, I'll be like, well, yeah, like I have, if the video that I want to watch is 1 hour, I'll be like, oh yeah, I'll watch it for an hour. And then I'll use the rest of my time to finish the drawing or process, do more of it. You never fail until you stop trying. Yeah, that's good. I like that. You never fail until you stop trying. That's very true.
Yeah.
And I feel like, once again, the reason why people stop drawing isn't because of other factors, it's because it's themselves. Sometimes I just see my sketchbook as something to decorate instead, and it kind of makes me happy. That's great. Like, I think that is great to view a sketchbook, because your sketchbook isn't supposed to have masterpieces. It's supposed to be what you want to draw in it. That's a reason for a sketchbook, you know?
Yeah, you just doodle and try stuff.
Yeah.
Just doodle and try stuff. I make a new art document and just doodle on it and sketch, and I use that as a sketchbook a lot of the time. Just, various stuff. I'll try stuff, experiment.
And if you have the fear where you're like, oh, but if I allow myself to get distracted, if I allow myself to do this, then I'll just get distracted all the time and I'll never draw. Well, I don't think that's very realistic either, because I think in your heart there's a reason why you want to draw.
Yeah, like I really do think there is a deep desire, like, why do I want to draw?
Yeah, there's a deep desire that isn't just gonna get distracted all the time. Like, I think, once again, the only reason why you binge, okay, so this is actually very I relate this a lot to, like, a relationship with food journey. I used to be very obsessed with food, and I still like food, but I'm not as obsessed with it as I was before. And I gained a lot of weight, and I was really depressed with myself, and I was like, crap, why do I keep doing it? And all I was doing was punishing myself for not eating healthier. I would say to myself, oh, you didn't eat healthy again this week, or oh, you didn't eat less rice today. Like, what's wrong with you? And it just made me depressed. And I'm like, but wait a second. I had to go back and think, why is my body doing this? Like, yeah, I'm not like some K-pop star, body type person. But I'm kind of thinking, like, I had to shift my thinking to, what if it's not my brain that's the problem? What if I'm just doing something that is actually inhibiting something, and I'm believing something false? So I thought, what if my body actually wasn't the problem? Like, what if my overeating is actually my body trying to do the right thing that it knows it can do, which is protecting myself, which is trying to make sure I don't starve, because my body doesn't know that I'm trying to starve myself or reduce, calories. My body is just trying to do the right thing. And I was blaming that part of myself. And I was like, wait a second, that's actually wrong. That's not the way to view getting healthier. It's not to force yourself, and it's not to criticize yourself. It's to work with yourself. Like, your body wants to be creative. Your mind wants to be creative. But I think that you have false beliefs that inhibits that creativity, and you think to yourself, oh, but if I don't do art, then I'll never do art again. Well, that's not true. Like, you have to trust that that love for art will come, and that you will want to create. I don't know. Does that make sense? I find that really helps me a lot with seeing those things.
That realization, like, that moment when you realize your body's putting on weight because it's trying to help keep you alive.
Yeah.
And you have to understand that. And it's like, you can hate your body, but it's literally just doing what it's supposed to do to keep you alive, and you have to understand that fact and work understanding that fact. And that going forward. So it's like, instead of being enemies with your body, you go, wait, my body's literally designed to keep me alive. It's doing what it's designed to do. And, like, moving forward with that mindset. It's the same with your mentality with art. It's just like, I want to do art. It's bringing that same thing in. It's really bringing that same thing in. It's very interesting.
It's another thing is, maybe rather than blaming you for not wanting to draw, what if your brain is just trying to protect you?
Yeah.
Because your brain sees drawing as a threat. Yeah. Well, then why do you see that as a threat?
That's what it happened to me.
Yeah, that's what happened to you.
I affiliated art with guilt of not doing what I should be doing. And so every time I sat down to draw, my brain's like, uh-oh, danger, there's this thing that's going to make him guilty. And it, makes me not draw. And so it's like understanding that process and then reversing it through compassion and not restricting myself in, I can't get distracted, or, oh no, you're a failure. Like, if every single time you draw, you just criticize yourself, and it's like, oh, you didn't make another drawing again, that's terrible.
You're falling behind.
Oh, you're falling behind. Oh, everybody else is ahead. Oh, you're not good enough. It's like, imagine your brain, after years of telling yourself that, every time you sit down to draw, it's like you just beat yourself up over and over and over and over and over. it's like, no wonder your body wants to resist drawing, because every single time you draw, you attack yourself going, you're not good enough, you're behind, or this 13-year-old's better than you, right? It's like, that's what your brain then protects yourself from. So it's like stopping that process of attacking yourself and getting your brain back to
it's okay.
Like, it's okay. Like, it's totally
okay.
fine.
It's
That
okay.
was what fixed my, like, art block or art burnout or whatever. Was there any practical things y'all did to learn how to deal with motivation and expectations? I'm a really big fan of mantras. Literally just write down on a sheet of paper, I'm allowed to get distracted. I'm allowed to not draw. There is no scarcity. I'm not behind. And just literally reading that to yourself with conviction every single day. You know, you can brainwash yourself. Like, you can. If you say,
brainwashed yourself before too.
I have brainwashed myself. Like, you can brainwash yourself into lies. Why can't you brainwash yourself into the truth?
I really like that.
I mean, it's
yeah,
like,
I really like
you know,
that.
you
Yeah.
tell yourself every single day you're not good enough, even though you know you are. You start to believe you're not good enough.
Yeah.
So, if you tell yourself something you know logically is true over and over and over, you'll also start to believe it. And then you also have to follow that up with action. You say, I'm allowed to get distracted. And then when you get distracted, you allow it and you don't punish yourself. That's a big one. Don't punish yourself. Don't beat yourself up.
Because the end result is to be drawing consistently.
Yeah.
But I think the ultimate thing to being consistent is being happy. Like, if you're happy with drawing and your relationship with art is very positive, of course you'd want to keep drawing, you know? Even if it sucks sometimes. Like, for me, like, there's definitely times where I struggle with my art, but, like, my relationship with art is stable enough that I'm not like going up and down.
It's not like you don't have bad days anymore. It's just that most days you have this magnetic pull to do it.
Yeah.
Some days it just doesn't work and you don't have that pull. Other days, it's like instead of most days you're repelled from it, most days you're attracted to it.
And that's also growth, right?
Yeah.
Because you also have to think back, like, of your progress back then. Like, maybe you don't draw that much. Maybe you only draw like once a month because of this crippling mental stuff. But then when you start changing your mindset and you actually start drawing maybe once a week instead of once a month, that's progress, you know, because it's like you're starting to get it back. And I think you also need to be gracious with yourself and also be once again, celebrate the small wins.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, and another thing that you'll notice is that because you've been on TikTok streams, chat, you'll notice that people will come in and they'll like come into a stream and they'll immediately like start criticizing, right? Oh, XYZ is too small, or this looks kind of weird, or that looks kind of bad, and everybody gets annoyed and they're like, get out of here, idiot. And the funny thing is like we do that to ourselves all the time. It's like, imagine there's a chat in your brain commenting on your life of yourself, and then it's like every single day it's just like, oh, the hand's too small, or that looks bad, or you can't post that, or that doesn't look good. It's like, think about the most annoying chat member who comes in and always tries to like point out what's wrong. Now go, I do that with myself. Like, that's like, you're the most annoying chat member in your own head. Like, you've got this chat going and it's just this feed of negative remarks.
But it feels so true because you believe it to be true.
Yeah.
So like, or it's like this idea of, oh, well, I'm only allowed to do that because I'm allowed to criticize myself. But then you don't realize that you don't talk to your friends that way. You don't talk to your child that way, or you don't talk to your other people that you care about that way.
Yeah, your friends, whatever.
Yeah.
Nothing makes me angrier than random critiques without any explanation of the problem. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it's crazy because it's
That's
like
our
I
norm.
was realizing that I was doing that with myself all the time in my brain. And a lot of people do. It's self-criticism.
Yeah.
And it's super toxic and it leads to really big problems.
Yeah.
And like I said before, it's not becoming like a yes man. It's not saying I'm perfect in every way. It's not becoming like a narcissist. There's a huge difference between ruthless self-criticism, right? And like being like a narcissist. Like it's huge. It's like one is super toxic in terms of you beating yourself up, you know, and it's completely different. So like you're allowed to take breaks. You're allowed to take your own time. There's no urgency. You're not behind. You can do art because you enjoy it. You don't have to criticize everything, right? celebrate the little wins. Okay, maybe this drawing didn't turn out overall as good as I wanted it to, but I feel like the neck looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Or yeah, you know, that nose is in the right spot. That's a win.
Mm-hmm. That's a win.
Yeah.
So Lily asked, when did you improve your mindset in art?
Like, honestly, when did I improve my mindset in
I think
art?
it was through it's a journey from a few years.
It's just been, it's been a multi-year journey. Like, I noticed at one point I tended to live in the future, and I was always think about the future. I would, like, get really stressed out. Like, I'd have these really short bursts of getting super interested in, like, oh, I'm going to learn this. And I'd be, like, 24 hours interested in that, and then I would stop, and I would reverse directions and go, oh, I need to learn this. Oh, I need to learn that. Oh, my gosh, today I'm going to learn Blender. And you, like, devour Blender and for, like, 8 hours. And then the next day you're just, like, totally onto another subject. And I would learn that I would live in the future and that I would go through these binges, and a lot of it had to deal with this scarcity mindset. Like, I think that
I don't have enough time, or
like,
I should be here at this level at this age.
Yeah, a lot of it just got chill. It just became like chilling out. Like, I just kind of chilled out and was like, I'm not in a rush. I don't need to be in a rush. I feel like I switch hobbies quick. I hate it. Yeah, like fear of commitment, feeling like maybe my potential is going to be limited if I decide and stick to something. You know, it's like there's 100 doors in front of you, and if you go through one, all 99 are forfeited. Like, that mentality. That's like a really toxic mentality. And, you know, basically learning how to be okay sacrificing things that you wish you could do, that you don't have time to. Or like that you like, you know, I'm not going to be an astronaut. I'm not going to be a football player. I'm not going to be a race car driver. And, like, being okay with letting those things go and kind of just living life and doing what I want to do, pursuing what I want to do. You know, I'm not going to be a professional 3D modeler. I could, but then I would shut all the other doors, right? So it's like, and then kind of listening to myself and going, well, what do I really want to do? In, like, a healthy way, not in, like, an impulsive way.
Yeah.
And
like an adult, not a child.
Yeah.
You know, like, because a child, what their mentality is I want to change things like a million times, and they don't stick to something. But with an adult, it's like you like other things, but you also know what you need to do, and you also enjoy what you need to do too. It's like a mixture of things.
And like this, getting rid of this feeling that there's not enough time. Like, there is time.
Yeah.
There's no scarcity.
You only live in the now. You only live it today. Like, that's really true, because you don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. Like, yeah, there's a pattern, but every day's different. Like, let's say, for example, a very simple thing is maybe today you eat pizza, but tomorrow you're eating Japanese food. It's different, you know. Like, every experience is different every single day. Where was I getting with this?
I don't know, but there's something stuck in the mouse right.
Oh, ew. Oh, I guess it's gone now.
Well, now it's like inside of the mouse, I think.
Oh.
Whatever.
We just decided to do a stream today.
Yeah, we just wanted to stream Hangout. How do you know I ate pizza? Because we are the same.
Yeah.
Except we had beef stew today.
Oh yeah, we did have beef stew. But we've been having less pizza these
Audrey,
days.
hey, I'd just like to say I've been a fan of you guys for a pretty long time, and I like how you draw. Awesome.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Like, our whole channel was just started with, like, we're artists, we're just regular people, and we just want to kind of teach what we've learned, because there were people that we learned from when we were beginners, and we're still learning. I'm certainly still learning a lot. You know, I've been doing a lot of studies, a lot of drawings. I'm probably going to either continue with arms tonight, or maybe, I don't know exactly, but, like, just continue studying. I'm probably going to work on my YouTube video a little bit now that I finally got my VR headset
that's
working
gonna be fun.
with the Cyberpunk 2077.
Guys, you guys know, at least the regulars know, that I really struggle with making YouTube videos. After this mindset shift, both of us.
I do too.
Well, like, I do as well, but, like, for me, like, there was a time where I went 6 months without making a YouTube video because I was, like, pressuring myself so much, and I was like, oh my gosh, but what if I don't get the hook right? What if I don't get the thumbnail right? What if I don't get this right? The perfectionism.
It's got to be this home run.
Yeah, and it's got to be this home run. And now I'm thinking, like, I'm just going to do what I want to do. I'm just going to make the video how I want to make it. And I'm just going to be in the present and enjoy making this content. And you guys have and I'm not going to self-criticize myself. And you guys have no idea that I actually want to make a YouTube video. Like, it's that, I'm not saying it's instant, but once you get it, you're like, you can't go back. Like, you can't go back to that. I mean, there's definitely going to be times where the habit comes back to self-criticizing, but you have to understand how to stop yourself, because you're like, wait a second, why am I feeling low? Oh, it's because I did this. So very much art and creative process is very much linked to mental health, which I'm very much like for. I'm really passionate about this kind of stuff. Now I'm practicing my anatomy and feeling very giddy about it. That's great. That's great, awesome. Venti. Aw, thanks, Lily. I was really proud of that YouTube video, the closed one.
One thing I really do have to warn about is, let's say, you know, you start sliding backwards into your old mentality. The worst thing you can do is criticize yourself for sliding backwards.
Yep.
That is the sliding backwards. Like, if you go, oh, I'm allowed to, if you start feeling guilty again that you're not practicing, and then you go, oh no, I'm sliding back into my old habits, be careful that you don't criticize yourself for sliding back into your old habits. You go, wait, totally fine. I'm not going to criticize myself. I did slide backwards temporarily, but I caught it, and you kind of restart the process. Because that's what I would always fall into, is my brain would trick me. It would be like, I would understand something, and then I would forget it, and then I would criticize myself for forgetting it, and it would repeat that cycle again.
Mm-hmm.
Try to get the ultimate brush pack anime code. It just gives me a piece of paper icon in the files. I'm not sure what you mean exactly. It's just a is it a zip file?
Yeah, it's a zip file.
It's a zip file. I can just send you that file directly over Discord if you want. But did you download it on your phone or mobile device, or on like a PC? Start drawing for nearly 2 years, so I'm so glad I'm back, and it was thanks to you guys. Awesome. I really appreciate hearing
your
that.
art is very, very nice.
God,
I always enjoy looking at your art.
Yeah, and I'm 100% biased because your character also reminds me of Miki. Downloaded it on PC. Did the whole download? It's like 500 megabytes or 400 megabytes or something, right? Did it download? Because the website we're using doesn't allow us, only really allows us to upload certain file types, so we had to zip the file. You're going to have to unpack it with like an unpacking tool.
Like an unzipping thingy?
Yeah, like an unzipping tool. I always compare myself with other drawings. Yeah, that's a big struggle. I totally understand it.
Yeah. It's once again, it's because you're trying to convince yourself that you're not good enough. And that's where the comparison becomes very toxic.
Yeah. One of my struggles was I went to a really hardcore school that a lot of people who graduated became very successful artists. And what ended up happening is that I graduated from that school. I worked professionally, but I really had a toxic mindset towards art. So I didn't practice very much. I didn't get that much better. And I noticed a lot of my classmates were out there working, getting better, and their art became like amazing. And I kind of stagnated and stayed in the same spot. And so I would beat myself up going, I should be further. And I saw my classmates getting better and better, and I wasn't. And then I knew there was just this mountain of work between where I was and where I wanted to be. And it kind of just reinforced that problem.
Mm-hmm.
And the reality is that, like, everybody has a different journey. Like, you're allowed to take time off. You're allowed to struggle to get better and get distracted. Like, Christine and I started this business. I art directed both of our books. Like, I did all of the business side. And so I was doing that instead of practicing.
And, like, having grace with yourself for being like, yeah, I did all this other stuff that I couldn't really do.
That's a win.
Yeah,
like, we literally started a business where we made 2 successful books and built a school online and built a TikTok and a live stream and a YouTube channel and everything. And now I'm beating myself up, not because I was doing that instead of drawing, and then I would beat myself up being like, I should be better at art. It's like, yeah, but if I was better at art, then I wouldn't have been able to build all of this.
Yeah.
With Christina, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And like, so it's like you really put these unfair expectations on yourself that you would never put on like a friend
or a child.
Yeah, or like a child. And so like, don't put it on yourself. Mm-hmm. Allow yourself that grace. Feeling the same way starting in December, just figured out gesture. I feel I should be further. Yeah, that's like the toxic mentality. You shouldn't be further.
No,
you can just
you
proceed
are
at your own pace.
You're at where you're at.
You just figured out gesture. That's a huge win. Like that's big. Like that's totally a win.
By the way, art is one of those deceiving things where it feels like it should be easy, but it's actually one of the most difficult things on earth. Like, because
it's super hard.
It's you're trying to mimic reality on a piece of paper. That's very difficult.
Yeah.
Anatomy is extremely difficult. Drawing in perspective is very difficult. So if you've only been drawing for a year, it's only reasonable that you wouldn't become a pro. Like, you wouldn't really be good yet, quote unquote good, like, or where you want to be.
Yeah, and another thing is, like, you're never going to be at the level that you wish you were at, which is why it's terrible to use that as a motivator and like benchmark, because like if your goal is always in front of you, right, it's almost like a carrot on a stick. Like, you're never going to reach the carrot
because the carrot's always moving.
Yeah, it's
because
always
you always
moving.
want to because
sometimes it's further and sometimes it's closer, but it's always out of reach because you're never where you want to be. So don't try to use that as a motivator. Our relationship with each other, we're married. Actually, our 5th anniversary is tomorrow. We'll be married for 5 years tomorrow. Yeah. Woo! So we just been doing a stream for fun today.
Oh, thanks, Dahlia.
Downloaded on PC. Is it a zip file? Try it. Maybe try downloading it again. Try downloading it in a different browser. I'm not sure. If you want to screenshot what you see and send it to me on Discord, you can do that as well. If not, I can literally just go and send you the file over Discord. I have Nitro, so I'll send you like I can send like 500 megabyte files. Congrats, awesome moment to drop in. Hello.
Yay.
Is that Miki as well?
Yeah, it's Miki. I think another thing is do not downplay your wins either.
Yeah.
Do not downplay those successes because, I mean, I know that when with you, Colton, you would have trouble with accepting compliments. You'd be like, well, like you downplay yourself. You'd be like, well, this wasn't really that good of a sketch anyways. Like, I don't know. I'm just like, no, it's good. Shut up.
That's great, Ozzy.
But, I think fun is what I was missing. I just told myself to have fun and drew a difficult pose. Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Who are you drawing? Kiku, I'm so glad you asked. Christina's drawing the most actually famous anime character of all time. Her name is Miki Biki, and she's my OC. She's the face of Anime Academy, honestly.
One of the faces.
She's a pop star, like literally an icon. And this is what she looks like. This is Miki. She's on the book cover of our How to Draw Characters Anime Academy Volume 2. And there's the other girls on there. You know, the reason that Naomi's not on there is because she actually wasn't invented yet.
And Jake wasn't invented
and
yet.
Jake isn't on there either, but there's a little
thing.
There's some little
Pigeon.
Easter eggs that you guys don't know about either.
Yeah.
But Jake wasn't invented and Naomi wasn't invented at the point that this cover was made.
Yeah.
So when we update book number 2, we're actually going to stick them on her jacket as well. Colton represents whenever someone asks about my OC.
Do you guys ever struggle to decide if you want to draw an anime character or go more realistic? You can do both.
No, I don't really struggle with it. It's kind of like whatever I feel like doing at the moment.
Yeah.
So adorable. You guys are good at drawing. Awesome.
Thank you.
Actually, she's more famous than Zero to Miki anime industry. Look, if I don't believe it first, how can anybody else believe it?
I'll be the ultimate OC glazer. But yeah, this is definitely a topic that I'm always very passionate about.
Yeah.
Because I went through that same thing.
I sent the message. Let me think. EBR. Can you not import that directly into your program?
Yeah, is it what program are you using, Katsuwa?
Are you using Clip Studio? Or Procreate? Awesome. Yeah, we are live on YouTube right now. We've been going for about 2 hours and 20 minutes. You might have to look into. Well, we want to make sure that it's actually an ABR file and it's not like a zip file that's for some reason labeled as an ABR. Let me look.
Drawing Academy?
No, I want to go to this. What? I'm not even logged in. And then I'm gonna have to verify. Hold on, I gotta do this. You can talk to chat if you want.
Is she the tsundere fang girl? I don't know what that is. Miki's not really a tsundere, but she does have a little fang because it's cute. It's cheeky.
I'll check really quick. And that's in the class introduction to digital art or something, right?
Yeah, I think that
Intro
is the
to
class.
digital art. Let me just go check that really quick. Intro to digital art, and that would be in the brush.
I think the idea of fangs is definitely one of the best things that happened to anime. I love the little fang. I basically add it to every cheeky character that I can find.
Okay, it is a zip file. You'll have to unzip that. Did you just download it directly from that? You haven't unzipped it yet, right? It is a zip file, so you're going to have to unpack that zip file. I would try re-downloading it again. I don't know why it says .abr at the end right now. It should be just .zip. Try that. Try re-downloading it or just unzipping that file that you downloaded. Tsundere being a trope. Fangs are peak. What brush is that? You can download the brush for absolutely free. Yes, you heard me correctly. 100,000% free. But I'm gatekeeping where? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, you can go to the link in our bio. You can also go to our Discord server. Type !brush in any of the channels. There we go. Copy. If you want to join our Discord server, you can send us a direct message and ask for the invite.
I need to practice drawing hands that are more like this. I don't really know how yet, so I'm not going to do it just yet.
I have trouble finding my start spot. Do you recommend starting with eyes, full head, body, etc.? I guess it depends on the intention of your piece. Like, I would start, if you're doing like a character where you're doing the full height of the character in an illustration, I would start with the height of the character. Like, this represents the top of the character, this represents the bottom of the character, kind of like what she did earlier. Right here.
What I did was I just started with a line.
Just started with a line, and it's like, there's your character.
There's my character.
But if you're only doing like a bust shot, you could start with, say,
maybe the head.
The proportions of the head to the pit of the neck, right? Top of the head to the bottom of the nose, bottom of the nose to the pit of the neck, that type of thing.
This brush you can get on our profile for free.
Yes, I will show you how to get this brush. All right. So if you go to our profile, here is our profile, right? DrawAnimeAcademy.com. You press that, and there's this, DrawAnime.com. You go to this, you hit open, and then there's the invite to the Discord, and this green button right here, Google Drive download. That's where you get the brush. You're going to have to hit these 3 dots and hit open in browser. You won't be able to download it from the TikTok app. It's just a direct download to the single brush that gets used on stream all the time.
Yeah,
if you can't see that link on our profile, it's literally just drawanime.com. If you type that in your browser, it'll bring you directly to that page, and you'll be able to download it from there.
Drawanime.com.
And also, you can just go to our YouTube channel, and in the descriptions of all of our videos is that page as well. But it's a great brush, honestly. It's like literally the only brush I've used for like the last 3 years.
So give me a piece of paper when I download it again. I still do that thing. Did you like unzip it? Like,
yeah. So you'll need to unzip the file. It's a zip file, so it like compresses the file and makes it a smaller download size. So you have to like right click the file and go unzip. You'll have to have like 7-zip or something like that. The site that we're using to host our courses and stuff, they only have certain supported file types, and so we had to zip it, and it also makes it just a smaller download.
Y'all's live stream have some magical hypnotic energy, because whenever I watch them, I end up drawing along. That's great.
We're talking about a different brush set, by the way. This is someone that's enrolled in our class, so they get a huge
different brush
pack of brushes.
Yes.
But the singular brush that gets used on stream, that everything here you see was drawn with. There's June, there's all the arms, there's Miki.
There's Ray.
All of this was drawn with the same exact brush today, and it's up for free. Only brush 2. I don't use any of the ones from DAA. Yeah, it is like legit. Like if I'm doing painting, I'll use different brushes. But this is like
Ultimate
it's
drawing brush.
It's the ultimate utility brush. Like you can use it
And for anything.
everything. It's astounding how good this brush is. Like I've literally never found a brush better in my life.
We used to use this Yijunke brush, by the Yijunke something sketcher. I don't remember, but from the same brush pack, there's this other brush that I started using. And I'm like, wait a second, this brush actually feels really good.
Yeah, that's I'm glad to hear that. Master Magic.
Yay!
Y'all just doing random sketches right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. There was like a little bit of
Some teaching.
educational stuff earlier. You guys have any anatomy tutorial? Yes.
We have some anatomy TikToks, and we have a how to draw bodies video. It doesn't cover like extensive anatomy, but it covers how to draw bodies like from start to finish for both male and female.
Yeah. Dude,
An arm extended overhead.
You know what I want to do as an experiment, Christina?
Huh?
Right, chat. We were talking about this. Christina and I mentioned the fact, or like the idea of like going through books. You know how you buy art books, right? You buy how to draw books and you never stinking read them, and you're just like, I have all these drawing books and I never read them, or I download all these books and I never go through them. We were thinking about going through a YouTube series where we actually go through books and teach them like to you, so you could just follow along in your book, and it's like on page 7 this is what they're talking about, and this and that and blah blah blah, and here's that. And then we were just like, what if we literally just went through our Anime Academy book on our YouTube channel and went through page by page and just like taught what was in the book. So if you get this book, you can just go through it on YouTube with us. And if you don't get the book, then you still have the YouTube videos. It was just a thought that we were thinking about doing. Kind of cool.
I really like that.
We don't animate, actually. So I wouldn't be good to teach Animator Survival Kit because I don't do any animation. So I'm not familiar with a lot of the stuff they teach in there. I'm talking like Scott Robertson's book. See, this is the thing, is I would be careful to do that because of like copyright stuff. Like I wouldn't want to go through someone else's book for free on YouTube. So like we would have to do it with like our own books.
Yeah. Artemis says yes.
Or maybe like, I don't know. I don't even know exactly, like, because I know you can do like book reviews and stuff. Like a lot of books will have a copyright in the front that's just like, oh, you can show this book in a book review, but like that wouldn't really be a book review, so we probably wouldn't be allowed to do that. We'd have to do it with our own book. We'll put a pin in it.
Yeah, we'll put a pin in it. If you want to draw someone's arm, like reaching up,
Yeah.
your arm can like really go very close to your head.
Yeah. Well, your shoulder girdle
Your shoulder
comes up.
girdle comes up,
Yeah, your
like-
clavicle is right here, and it goes like this.
Your clavicle can go like your clavicle can basically move independently of each other. You have one that can be rested down and one that can be rested up.
You could do a review of the best parts of those books. You know, that could be really good.
And then what happens is your arm.
That is a good idea. That person 2022, you get full credit for that idea.
So the arm can go straight up to the side, all the way down, and it can go front. So it's kind of like, let me think.
You mean like this, like ooh?
Yeah. So it can go front, like towards you, up and down, like a half circle, and maybe a little bit to
Exactly.
the back.
So they're talking about this.
Oh, that. Okay,
Like
okay.
arm up,
Okay.
scratching the top of
Up
the head.
scratches. Okay.
That particular one.
All right, let me try that. What I would do is I would actually draw the hand first.
Yeah.
Draw the hand, scratching the head.
Yeah, and then pull the arm to it.
I pull the arm to it. So then you figure out your torso or your clavicle.
And again, you'll see that Christina's proportions. I really wanted to talk about this really quick, and then I'll let you finish.
Sure,
Sorry.
go ahead. No, it's
So
okay.
Christina's got her proportions, right? She's got top of the head, bottom of the nose, pit of the neck. That is 1/2, right? You'll see that's very accurate. And then if she wants to come down another half, there is the...
I didn't know it was so accurate.
Yeah. Well, it's just, it's muscle memory
It is
at this
muscle
point.
memory, yeah.
So,
If it looks right, then it's right, generally.
yeah. It takes a while to learn what looks right, so you kind of have to practice what is right for a while.
Yeah. So then what I'll do is if I don't know how to find the length of my upper arm, I know that my upper arm, like where my elbow is at, it ends right by the bottom of my rib cage. So I can take this length right here and move it up.
Now, a YouTuber who made some explanations of anatomy referencing Bridgman's books. Interesting.
I can move it up this way up here. So I just got to make sure that this length and this length are roughly the same.
Yeah.
And then I connect. Oh, wow. There's an arm scratching. Yeah. And I also like to think of like, what's the negative space? What's the shape of this, like this empty spot here, right here?
If you want to put the hand in a really specific spot, generally the best way to do that is to put the hand first and then pull the arm to it. It generally becomes easier to do that. Christina's figure drawing video explained proportions in a way I finally understood. Awesome.
Yay! Well, we were taught this by Will Weston, so he gets the credit for that. He knows that he likes when other people teach the way how he teaches. I would too. I mean, if you teach it that way, that's totally fine too. I won't be like, hey, he stole from my drawing video. I don't care.
I wish Will Weston was doing more classes this year.
I know.
He's only doing one. I don't think I'm going to be taking it this year. We got a bunch of other stuff going on. Maybe I should do like an in-depth study of hands as well.
How do you draw side body torsos connected from a side view of the head?
Huh?
I don't really know. Do you mean like just how to draw side view torso with the head attached to it? And we've been on for quite a while.
Oh yes, they said.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Of what was it?
Okay, it's just a side view with the head attached.
Oh, okay.
So the side view of a torso, understand that it's not like head, then this. It's not straight. There's actually a lot of like going back and forth like this. Oh no, this is horrible. So with your head is actually tilted at an angle, or your neck and your head is actually going this way. So you stand not like this, where it's completely straight, like turn it from the side view. It's not like that. This is where the head and the neck is a completely straight line. But if you rest, oh no, just stand properly.
I'm not even standing, I'm sitting.
No, not standing, just sit properly. You can see that. Go. Turn to the side. So if you look at his neck position, it's not straight down. It's not straight down like this, but rather at an angle, like that. So we want to make sure that that is there in our drawing. Oh, you just
reminded me.
What
is that called, an eclipse fade?
What's that? Oh.
So, chat, hear me out, all right? I was thinking about getting this haircut.
You look like, it looks like a villain.
What do you think? Right? Do you think I would rock that haircut?
They're like, why?
Yes. Like, I could rock it. See, nothing up here, but then I can grow all this out, and I can just get those kind of like wings. Looks like Wolverine, exactly. Don't. She would love it.
Oh, I actually would. You guys don't know how open I am when it comes to Colton trying different silly stuff. Like.
Oh, chat, I wanted to tell you, look, so we got these little model figurines. I don't have any of them right here, but we also got this little, like, fisheye lens that clips onto the back of the phone. And so I was taking pictures of it in, like, a fisheye perspective. Like, that's sick. That's sick.
That's so cool.
That's absolutely sick. But anyways, it was like a drawing practice thing that I was messing with.
So another thing about the torso is that even the ribcage goes, like, kind of ribcage and... Oh, that's so cute! Oh, they're so silly. So this is Poppy, our oldest cat. There's Applejack.
Look how big his nose is, dude.
Looks like a dog.
Looks like a bear or something, dude.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm totally distracted right now.
Yeah, he's distracting me too. So,
I actually want to go get a cat. You keep doing
your
thing.
So when you're drawing the torso, just always make sure of your proportions, like understanding that the upper body is about 3 squares tall. Roughly about the same height. So your torso fits into one box. Your pelvis, or like the area between your pelvis and your guts, fits between one box, and then your head is like within this one box here. So if you know this, then you can basically draw any view that you want. So, and then you fit your rib cage. It's basically like fitting a puzzle, right? You're just trying to fill in the blanks. Here, my pelvis starts at about the halfway point of this third box. So I'm adding in my pelvis right here. And then you will generally see that there's an, let me think, the rib cage faces up, the pelvis faces down. That's kind of generally how people like to stand. It's not, once again, it's not like your rib cage and your pelvis are completely straight, or else we won't have a proper spine posture. Our spine likes to naturally curve, unless you have scoliosis, which is like an unnatural way that the spine curves. But kitty, look up this way. There you go.
He's so cute.
Just want to knead your face.
He's so cute.
Okay. Good boy. You smell like fresh baked cookies.
He's so giant, dude.
He's a big boy. You're a big boy.
Get up here.
You smell so good.
No, that was Applejack.
This is Applejack. He's huge, dude.
He's a big boy.
Big fatty.
No, he's not.
He's husky.
He's a big husky boy and he has big pair bear paw.
He's
We'll
pretty
go put
chill,
you back.
honestly.
He's super chill. I'll go put you back.
They're all green-eyed. Wait, actually, no. I don't think Toby's green-eyed. I don't think he is. So anyways, now you got the head with the body attached. And then in the middle, you can kind of fit whatever. You can make this a beer belly. You can make this whatever. This is more of a male body. I made this very, very curved. So this right here is your cervical spine. This is your thoracic spine. This is your lumbar spine. And generally, they're about... I made mine a little bit too long, but that's okay. It actually should be right here. So this, 2, 1. Yeah, that looks pretty good.
Cats never take showers yet they smell heavenly.
I know.
Toby takes showers sometimes after he steps in his poop and runs around the house with it on his paw, getting it everywhere. He hasn't done that for like a week though.
For muscular body, you won't really see that much of the spine because for a muscular body, the arm will actually cover a lot of this. So I'm gonna turn this into a muscular body real quick.
Applejack? No, he was named after cereal. He was given to the rescue with 7 other cats, and they named them all after cereal.
Raisin Bran, Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah, and we couldn't think of a name for him, so we just kept calling him Applejack, and that's
just
permanently his name.
We couldn't think of a better name. Honestly, although I think Atlas would have been a pretty cool name. But we wanted a cutesy name.
Applejack was cute enough.
It was cute enough. And also, like, kind of not super cutesy. So here, neck will be very thick for a very muscular man. You have your traps.
Tabby, he is a tabby as well. And
Ooh.
just as your name is. It's funny. Hey,
And
Ruby. Miumi. Yeah, we have 3 kitties. 3 cute, sneaky. Some of them are very sneaky, but they're all
One of
cute.
them, 2 of them are very sneaky. Well, I mean, I guess all of them are sneaky to some degree.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of the rib cage will still stay the same size. It'll just be very expanded. I need to look at more of side views for men.
Here's Toby.
There's Toby. My gosh, his head looks so small compared to his body.
Yeah, what is this weird?
I don't know. That's weird.
Toby and Applejack together.
They're so cute.
Interlocked.
Wait, what's the picture of Poppy, Toby, and Applejack?
Eating? Oh, this one?
Yeah. They were all on the towers together. So there's Applejack. There's Poppy. And then there's Toby peeking through.
They're all 3 on their tower, their little window stuff. The death stairs.
You would still maintain it. You just wouldn't really see a lot of this curvature because maybe some parts of the arm could be blocking it. But I wouldn't really even show too much curvature or else it might look feminine. So I would, yeah, there's just going to be some parts that are going to be blocked. There we go, muscular man.
Gotta sleep for work. Thank you for everything. Have a great weekend. Awesome. Yeah,
Awesome,
have
thanks.
a good weekend.
Favorite anime show? I don't know. There's just a few that I like. I honestly, I don't remember enough of Sailor Moon to say it was my absolute favorite, but one of my absolute favorites is Cardcaptor Sakura, Heartcatch Pretty Cure, Rose and Maiden, Laid Back Camp.
Thank you so much for the tip. How long did it take to be this good at anatomy? So Christina got really good at anatomy. She actually taught it. She's taught it like a bunch of times, right?
Yeah.
She's taught it. She's taken classes. She's gone through the classes from start to finish. You haven't really looked at many anatomy books, have you?
Oh, I have.
Oh,
I've
you
looked
have?
at. I don't look at.
You haven't
like,
really
anatomy
studied
books.
a lot
I don't
of them.
study a lot, but I definitely look at like a lot of images that a lot of good artists
Yeah.
do, and I study those. Like I study a lot of TP Choice stuff.
Yeah.
I study a lot of. I have like an anatomy folder where I'm like I just look at a bunch of breakdowns and I just draw them and do studies of them.
That's one thing that like anatomy for sculptors is really good at. It really helps to simplify like understanding the overall forms of things. Anatomy is mostly an understanding of form.
Yeah.
Like what's going over what shape is something, what's poking out behind what. Like that's really what anatomy is.
Like I would go and look at this, for example.
Yeah. Something like that.
I'll go and I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna draw that.
See, look, right below it. Anatomy for sculptors.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh
right
yeah,
there.
right there.
Right there.
Anatomy for sculptors.
Yeah.
Let's just save that.
Like understanding the forms, what's going over what's going under what.
What if there was just a stream where we just did a bunch of anatomy studies?
I would 100% do that. Have a good night, Artemis.
So like if I'm like confused about like the torso side muscles, I'll find
Oh,
a
yeah.
reference of this and I'll like just draw
No,
it.
pencil and paper's totally fine.
yeah,
We
like-
do a lot of pencil and paper these days. Like I did a bunch of streams recently. I don't know if it was a bunch of streams, but with just pencil and paper, like this kind of stuff.
Go ahead.
You gonna do a little anatomy study?
I'll do a little
Like this is
anatomy
just
study.
pencil and paper. You know, 3/4 view fisheye lenses, drawing grids, different kinds of stuff. I did a whole lesson on this kind of stuff recently on a live stream, and it was all just with pencil, paper, and pen. Like this kind of stuff. This is like the gate-kept perspective of like really high-level
Which
artists.
is actually also a video.
Yeah,
on our YouTube
I
channel.
turned this into a video on our YouTube channel. You can go watch the whole thing. But yeah, like all this pencil and paper. I don't really have a lot of stuff in this sketchbook that's like
Interesting.
nice drawings. I have some other sketchbooks, but no, pencil and paper is totally
It's totally valid.
fine.
I think digital just looks fancy.
Yeah. Oh, Kat, are you here? Hello.
Hi. Oh, look at how the lats connect to the obliques. I never thought about that before.
Wait.
I never knew that the lats connected like
It's
this.
kind of like how the
Serratus anterior.
serratus anterior fit in.
So the
too.
serratus anterior is a rib cage on the rib cage, muscle on the rib cage, and it goes along the grain of the rib cage. So like if your
that's
bones, I think, look like this, your serratus anterior is like that. Now
Yeah.
that's a very bad drawing.
They hook into your.
They kind of look like scales.
Rib cage. They're kind of like avocado slices almost.
Yeah. They hook into the obliques, which is your little nice sides. And then your lats also connect to the obliques in kind of like that way, which I think is very interesting.
Biggest issue with pencils is that it's so hard to make isometrical. Draw guidelines or like ghost guidelines.
But like my anatomy study isn't very pretty. But I don't care about it being pretty. I just want to understand it.
Yeah, it's like all about understanding.
Yeah.
Just pure understanding. Like you can make it pretty later.
Yeah.
Oh, there's that rib cage in there.
Oh yeah.
That little shadow that you're drawing.
Oh, I actually didn't realize I was shading the same thing. I just felt like shading this part.
It's a rib cage
Yeah, that's a rib cage.
coming down. And this bump right here is also the rib cage. That
Yeah, it is the rib cage.
that
yeah.
bump is the rib cage.
That's right.
Coming out. Hat and mustache. Did someone get a hat and mustache?
Hoy.
I don't know. What is this, Cat? Hat and mustache. Thank you for that.
Thank
Cat. Who did it go on? Me or Christina, or did it not work?
Vinny, thank you for the follow. And Tanaka's, thank you for the follow.
Both. We both got them.
Oh.
I saw it. Oh, nice. I have to look like all the way over here to see it. It's great. Both for like a split second. Are we gonna be in quiet drawing later tonight? Maybe. I honestly want to do more studies and stuff. Like, I've really been enjoying that.
That's great. I need to actually work on my YouTube video today, so I gotta lock in.
I could actually also get my PC set up for recording VR. I set up an OBS scene to record my virtual reality headset.
That'd be sick.
I don't know how this video is going to turn out, but I'm having a lot of fun on it.
As long as you have fun, that's a win. I'm always thinking about the small wins. That's what keeps you going, right? Like, instead of always, I mean, just kind of going back to the topic that we were talking about earlier, is if you keep thinking that everything that you do is a failure, you're basically never giving yourself any wins.
Thank you, Kat, for another hat and mustache.
Oh, thank you.
And also thanks for the Dolphin Symphony.
Thank you.
I just want to be part of it.
Thanks, Dave. See ya.
Symphony!
I just want to be part of your... I can't even get that high.
The perspective of small wins. Yeah, I actually learned about small wins by watching Escape from Tarkov videos. Little dubs lead to big dubs.
I need water. I wish I was a soprano, to be honest. You know, one of the things that I've always wanted to do was get better at singing, because I love singing. I like the idea of dancing, and I want to take classes for those. I just haven't gotten to. I want to take vocal lessons. Sitting at me, do I have to draw all the muscles to actually understand? Not all.
Really.
There's only a few muscles that are really important in order to draw them. Like, you don't have to know every single muscle. You just gotta know the ones that you would basically see and draw most of the time. We teach this a lot in our anime art school. A lot of the basic muscle structures. So, like, for instance, the ones that I draw a lot is pecs, serratus anterior, obliques, which is 3 muscles right now. 1, 2, 3.
Want to see a magic
Abs.
trick?
What? What are you doing?
What?
You're so silly. How do you know where the landmarks are of certain muscles? You have to know the proportion of the body, because the proportion of the body is basically telling you like how far to put the muscles in. So like for me, I know that my rib cage and my pelvis, if I put them together, they're about the same height. The pelvis is in the halfway mark of this second box. And then I know as well that my pecs, so let me see, I draw my opening of my rib cage. My opening of the rib cage is about 3 hands length. So 1 hand length is the sternum, 1 hand length each on the opening of the rib cage. So I know that that's my length. And then my pecs, I know where to place my pecs because my pecs do not go below the bottom of the rib cage. Hi, Toby.
Bro, we have so many anatomy books, it's insane.
It doesn't go, it's not like super short either. It's kind of like over here. So sometimes you can just estimate it. And so that's where I know where my pecs go, which is my chest muscles. And I also know that there's generally a little blank space in the middle. That's your sternum, which doesn't have any muscle on it. Your pecs go here. I know that my serratus anterior is on my rib cage, but it's not like all like below the rib cage. It's on the sides, so I keep it in the sides.
I'm back from the other dimension.
I know that my rib cage. I know that my abs are not pooling on the sides here. That's not where the abs go. They're basically by the around the end of the rib cage, and they fan down to the pubic bone. So I think all these landmarks basically tell you where to put the muscles. I know that my obliques appear on the sides, and they do not go over the pelvis because this is bone, right? It kind of just like rests on top of the pelvis.
All right, have a good night. Okay, Katsua.
Like that.
Yeah, we'll do your watercolor sometime soon.
Yeah.
On a stream.
So that, and you do this like multiple times until you memorize it.
Yup. Did you do the full body?
No.
It's just like full body is like head to toe, halfway, bottom of the pubic bone, third, and a third. Head. Your rib cage is in here. Pelvis. Halfway is the bottom of the pillar or the knee. It's not quite half. It's more like here. Foot. Foot. And you can do something super, super bad and rough like that, like horrible. But as long as the proportions are well, you can fix it. Like it's really not that bad to fix.
I like to think of drawing the pelvis and the legs as kind of like a ball jointed doll or like a figurine. So like your pelvis.
Ew, fix that. It's so horrible.
No, it's not.
I hear a cat sneaking around.
Baby.
Oh, Toby. Hi there, baby. Ew. So anyways, I like to think of adding the legs as like, I don't know, a ball jointed doll where there's the pelvis, and that's one piece.
Toby.
Then there's your ball joint, which is like your femur. Hi there, my lovely. Do you want to see your... are your eyes green or are they yellow? They're yellow.
You're so cute.
Little white sockies. We were going to name him Socks, but then I'm like, nah. It didn't fit right.
Twelve boy. You're so cute. Happy.
Happy.
What?
Actually, I saw a really interesting leg breakdown on an actual ball jointed doll body that we bought. They simplified the leg like this.
He is very cute.
They drew the ball joint,
He's a menace.
and then they blended the ball joint like this.
Oh, I needed a pencil, didn't I?
So they basically combined like the hip, the joint, and also the muscle, like that.
Is there a pencil in that box?
This
By
one?
those brushes?
Probably is. Can check.
I meant over there. By
Oh.
the brushes.
Are the brushes? Oh,
Oh,
I
the
don't
brush
know.
is sticking out.
I don't know.
No, there's nothing in here.
There could be
Where's the
some.
pencil? That's used on stream all the time. Oh, there it is. I didn't have it over here for some reason.
And then
I don't know what that is, Lau. Yeah, it's Toby. It's a he.
so I just think of it like that.
No, I'm gonna be.
And I add a
studying
cylinder,
A little bit of Bridgman.
and I just connect the forms. So like here's my pelvis. My legs basically start at the 3-finger gap mark, like underneath the 3-finger gap mark. So I can fan out my legs this way, and I can keep my legs down here this way. So think of it like a limit. Where's that figurine actually? Figurine is actually a really good example.
What figurine?
This the Toy Heavy Industries one. It's right here. I have it.
Oh, you have another one, yeah.
Hi, Applejack. What are you doing here?
Where the obliques end, is that where the hip dips are? The hip dips would be underneath of the pelvis, so that would be where your gluteus medius, your tensor fascia, and all that would be.
So, got this figurine right here. Here's a pelvis. This part right here is your 3-finger gap,
Yeah. Which is like where your hip dip is.
which is where your hip dip is.
Yeah.
So for hip dip, so here is your hips, your pelvis. Hip dip number 1 at the bottom of your oblique. Hip dip number 2, if for women, femur comes out. There's your hip dip. What brush you use? You can find our brush on our profile, or you can find it on this website right here, drawanime.com.
It's free.
It's free.
Totally free. You can just download it immediately.
Yep, it's a Google Drive download. And make sure, so this is an ABR file, so you can, what's it called? You can use it for Photoshop, Clip Studio Paint, or Procreate.
Anything that accepts Photoshop
Yeah,
brushes.
anything that accepts Photoshop brushes. And this is Procreate. So anyways, what happens now is your leg can come out This is basically the limit of where your leg can bend, unless you're like unless you're very, very, very flexible. But generally, there's a limit. So it's right here. You can have, if it goes towards the front, there's the limit. There's three finger gap, or I can't show it very well. 3-finger gap, 90 degrees, right? So this is like the limit. So whenever you're drawing like a pelvis, here's your 3-finger gap. Here's your leg. Your legs comes out from here. Fits like a glove. Like that. I mean, that's how I like to explain it.
Doll looks cursed. It's probably hitting the uncanny valley territory for you.
Yep. It's kind of uncanny, honestly.
Doll, it's an action figure. I remember a quote from like Jimmy Neutron where Sheen is obsessed with Ultra Lord and someone calls it a doll and he's like, it's an action figure. If anybody knows that show, Jimmy Neutron.
Interesting, because if you look at this pose, this feels kind of feminine. And the reason why it looks feminine is
who just said bro is built like a 1x1 Lego piece?
What's that from?
It's queso.
Oh, that's so funny.
Jimmy Neutron mentioned my childhood.
So the reason why this pose looks feminine is because generally when you have legs that go inward like this, and they're like kind of pigeon-toed, it's like, yeah, you know, yeah. And so that looks very feminine. With more masculine poses, we want to try to like kind of eliminate that. Not have feet go inward, but more outward, more wide stance. That's how you're gonna make your male characters look less feminine and more masculine. Once again, this is only if you want a more like Chad character, right? He's so ooh-woo. Yeah, if you want them more ooh-woo, bend the leg like this. And have the arms out like this. There. Actually, no, it should be more like this. Flamboyant arms or hands always flick from one side to the other. So like what I mean by that is, look at their hand posture. Hands are very expressive, right? So if you have a hand where your arm is coming out, but your wrist or your hand is going in and it's in a fist, that's very powerful. It feels sturdy. You know, this person's not joking around. But if you have a character that openly flips their hand up and down like this, and their hand position looks like that, that's very flirty. You can get this on Amazon, but it's very expensive.
They're all price gouged because they don't manufacture them anymore.
Yeah.
So you're probably looking at like, I don't even know, $200 maybe for one of these.
Yeah.
If you want this particular one, there's always someone in the chat who goes,
I saw that one. It was $15.
it's a different brand. Like this is like the original Japanese Toa Heavy Industries 1/12 scale. So there are a lot of different kinds that you can get. Most of them are like gray. Some of them are 3D printed. But this one particularly that we have, you can even write it if you want.
Yeah, sure.
It's called Toa Heavy Industries by 1000 Toys. And it's the 1/12 scale.
You're
There's
willing
a male
to
and a
pay.
female version. The female version's a lot less expensive. The male version is more expensive.
That's the brand. And it's a 1/12 scale. They're rare nowadays.
Applejack, what are you doing in here?
So, another thing about poses is if you sway the hips.
Hey, don't you scratch that box. No. No, I'm going to tip you out of this box if you do that.
You know, actually,
What?
that actually might be something that he likes to scratch on too, like that texture.
I mean, he likes to scratch on all kinds of textures. Couches,
That's true.
boxes, forbidden boxes. The recurring theme is that it's always something that's forbidden.
Yeah.
As soon as he's allowed to scratch something, he doesn't. He's like us with art and distractions.
I have so many questions for anatomy, but I don't know anymore. That's okay. We're not gonna cover the entire anatomy today. We can always ask another stream, but we actually have a video on like how to draw bodies, and I'll also cover some simple anatomy, and that is on our channel, our YouTube channel. So you can go check that out. It's actually one of our most recent ones. I think it's I forgot what the video is called, but you'll know which one it is. It has like colored muscles on top and stuff. Anyways. Drawing feet is very difficult, so I can totally understand why you would ask a video on drawing feet. We don't have one yet. In fact, I'm actually not very good at drawing feet. But we can look at this model real quick. Actually, the way how this model is broken down is actually very interesting. So you have 3 components, or 4, I should say. You have your ankle and your like lower leg area, and that kind of looks like a wrench. Then you got the top of your foot, which kind of looks like this. It's kind of like tubular shape, half cylinder. You also got your heel on the back, which is kind of like this. How do I describe this shape? It's like kind of round, and then flattens on the bottom. Looks like this from the side view. And then you got your toe box, which usually is kind of like separated into 2 parts, because in here we got the big joints which bend, which is like the ball of the feet, and then we got the actual like toes. So even just drawing this is perfectly fine. I don't like drawing feet in general, so I just always keep it very simple. When I draw like the toes, the toe box will have this like, this is what it looks like from the top view. This is our big toe, our little toes, and our pinky toe kind of like disappears into the distance because it's the smallest one and it curves in the most. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just make sure that you're not accidentally drawing 6 fingers, six toes. I mean, and actually, I observed this earlier, but the toes, they aren't just like little nubs like this. They actually look like miniature fingers. So they're just curved. They're just fingers that look like this, like little miniature ones.
Is the YouTube channel in the bio? Yes.
They look like that. It's kind of creepy, but like if you combine it with the rest of the foot, it doesn't look as creepy anymore. See, now it looks more natural.
See, I think Bridgman has a pretty good book, but I find some of the drawings a little bit vague, like a little bit confusing. Like this is obviously the forearm and upper arm, but like even this arm right here, like I find it just a little bit vague. Like it's not really labeled. Like I know what's happening. It's a hand doing this, like pressing on a desk or like a table or something. Like there's the wrist and there's the forearm. There's your what they're called, these muscles underneath.
Flexors?
Yeah, your flexors, and this looks like the
brachioradialis
or something.
Yeah.
But I find it just a little bit vague and confusing and hard to understand. I think that other books.
Actually, those are the extensors.
Oh, those are the
Because look, this is
extensors. Oh yeah.
supinated,
There's that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
It's
flips
a little
around.
bit
I just
vague.
find it a little bit difficult to understand.
kinda
Like some of these drawings are pretty good in terms of like understandability. Here's that like interlocking type deal, and I kind of like that twisted box thing. But there are a lot of drawings, which is nice. But I find some of them a little bit difficult to study. I think there's other books that are really clear. But I think Bridgman's book is actually pretty old. There's some really good stuff in here.
Oh, that's very nice. I'm gonna find a hair tie. I'm sweating.
Gottfried Bombs has a really good book.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
You're like Queso jokes. I don't really watch Queso that much. I do like him. I understand a couple of jokes. I've seen some TikToks of his, of just like silly stuff. But other than that, like I don't really keep up with like queso streamers, any of that type of stuff. Just very light knowledge on it. He's great. Who's the artist of the arm? This is Bridgman's book. George Bridgman's Constructive Anatomy.
With almost 500 illustrations.
But a lot of good stuff in here. It's definitely a book worth getting. I just noticed like some of the drawings are a little bit like vague. It's good stuff though. I did pull out a couple of anatomy books though. Number one, this is a really good one, Morpho Anatomy for Artists. This one right here is really good. I have to make sure I vet what I open, otherwise you're gonna see naked people. Right? That's good.
Ooh, that's
I find
good.
this a lot more clear. All those numbers are labeled as well. You know, different, like this kind of stuff is really good. All the muscles are labeled. There's a bunch of diagrams. It's actually a really thick book as well. You can see there's a lot of
It's
pages.
stained a little bit on the sides.
Yeah, dude, because I just flipped through it so much with dirty, stinky Toby hands.
Toby.
Yeah, really nice stuff. Very clear. I would just copy these. Like, copy these drawings until you start to understand. He also has another book called, like, Simplified Forms. It's a lot smaller, and he basically just breaks down the limbs and body parts in, like, more simple forms. So you're like, here's some of his breakdowns of the arms, right? Like, there's the back of the arm where it's supinated. There's some of different angles of the arms and the muscles. You know, you can see all those same muscles. You got your deltoid, you've got your tricep, you've got your brachialis, you got your bicep. Here's your radiobrachialis down here. Here's these, I always mess these up, flexors.
Those
the
are
bottom.
extensors. Flexors on the bottom, yeah.
Yeah.
Extensors on the top.
There's your elbow, you know, there's your ulna right there.
Brachioradialis will always be on the extensor side.
Yeah, oh, brachioradialis will always be on the extensor side.
Like this side.
Oh,
This
interesting.
Is always on your flexor. It's on your extensor side.
Well, that is your extensors, right? Like
Yeah.
your brachioradialis
It's
is
part of your extensors, yeah.
Okay, I thought so. I always just mess them up in my head.
yeah, it's very confusing. Oh,
Another really good book, and this is actually something that I don't see a lot of people talking about. Maybe you should make like a YouTube video on it or something. This book right here. This is actually a workout book. This is a bodybuilding book for people who want to get like ripped and in competition form. And everything's incredibly clearly labeled here. All of the muscles, what they do. Really, really good stuff. I don't want to open it on. See, like, how your triceps work and how all these fit together. Like, this is just a really good supplemental resource in order to help. Like, see, tricep, and it has 3 heads. There's your lateral head, your long head, and your medial head. Like, you'll learn all about these, and these are for people who want to work out and get jacked, absolutely shredded. But us artists,
too.
I know, a really, really good artist. This dude, look at this dude, such a Chad.
He's a Chad artist.
Frederic Delavier, former editor-in-chief of the French publication Power Mag. Interesting. Over 600 color illustrations. You can see there's this. It covers the entire body, like a lot of muscles that you don't even see in for artists.
Funny enough, that's actually a name.
That is funny. Trapezius, like look at all this stuff is so good. Like, and again, if you're making an illustration, it's like a good resource. So, you know, that's Strength Training Anatomy. And then here's this book as well, which even naked people on the cover, so I have to cover it with my thumb. But Anatomy for Sculptors is really, really good. It breaks down stuff in a really good way. Let me try to find some like good examples of how stuff is broken down, right? Like even stuff like this, like breaking down how the eyeball works, right? This is for people who want to learn how to sculpt. So it really talks about the forms of stuff. Let me look through some of this, right? Here's some good stuff here, right? Arm muscles and all that. It breaks it down. It draws over it. Teaches you how it works. It gives you a bunch of like simplifications of stuff as well. So this is a really good book here. You know, Anatomy for Sculptors, like that. It's just a couple. There's some other good ones. You know, Stonehouse's Anatomy. I didn't pull that one out because it's huge. Yeah. Because, like, the really detailed anatomy, it's not all that important. Like, you never use it in illustrations. Like, you could be, like, a world-class artist and you don't know the actual striations, right? The lines, the ways that the muscles move. Like, you just don't really need it. You can learn it if you want. It's like you can be a race car driver without understanding how to build every single component of your car from scratch, starting with raw iron ore. Like, you just don't really need it. Spidey senses going crazy.
Kai, thank you for
Which
the follow.
book? Which book was it? Morpho or was it Strength Training Anatomy? Anatomy for Sculptors, I think, is only available from like their website, I believe. How long have you both been doing art for? A really long time.
Yeah, good while.
A really long time. I don't know, 20 years, but that's kind of vague because like.
What if the reality is actually different?
We were like kids 20 years ago.
Yeah. I tend to draw my characters, my anatomy studies very lean. I don't add a lot of fat, which I actually should add more fat because it actually makes the character look more natural.
Oh yeah, they do have a PDF version of the anatomy for sculptors as well. It's good. Nat, you can actually get this brush for free. It's on our profile. It's also in our Discord server. You go to any channel, and I mean any channel in the Discord server, and type !brush and hit enter. You will get the brush. The bot will send you the brush. Oh wow, what's all this? Is this all from today?
Is it? Wow,
Looks like
really?
it.
Wow.
Wow, what the heck?
Sick. Where did you guys all come
where
from?
the heck are all these people who are joining the Discord server coming from? Thank you, everybody.
Yeah,
really
thank you.
appreciate it. Super fun. Like, that's good. I don't mean it in a bad way. Like, yay, more people. Woo.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Yippee, welcome.
I need to draw more Victor anyways. I need to learn how to draw him better. Especially because we're going to be making a story out of him someday.
Yo. Oh, yeah, Victor's awesome. Victor's, like,
Yeah.
so cool.
Victor's so cool.
I'm literally just going through Bridgman's book right now, and I'm, like, practicing, like, drawing and stuff. I actually like kind of Morpho's book as well. It's pretty good.
Yeah, and we're drawing live. Heck yeah, Sky.
Oh, this is a good breakdown right here.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
Lanny, I probably would really not do those jokes. We're not really that kind of channel. I know you like queso. But I don't think we really care that much.
So cool. Yeah, Victor's awesome. Jared, thank you for the follow. Kai, thanks for the follow as well.
Actually, if you continue, we might just mute you. So, Loaf, thank you for the follow. Actually, even though this kind of reminds me of how the old streams used to be, you know, like just kind of getting those like
Chilling?
Yeah, just kind of chilling and
Yeah. That's all good. Now, what are you doing?
I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
Randos?
Just rando.
Yeah, I need to do more studies and stuff. I'm probably going to be working on that actually more tonight.
Yeah.
Probably more arms. Like, honestly, I really feel like getting some arms and legs figured out. I always find them... My arms tend to be kind of vague.
Kind of like
Limb.
gestury.
More gestural. Oh, that's my style. My style is based on not understanding what.
You know, female arms, when they're like lifted up like this, I used to think that the breast would like go. Hi, Poppy.
Joined the Discord. Awesome. is that Nat? I can give you the role. Just make sure that you you got the role already. Just make sure if anybody joined the Discord tonight, just give the rules channel a quick read. You know, it's nothing too crazy. It's just like, you know, don't be edgy and rude and all that kind of stuff. You know, don't give people critiques who don't ask for them. You can obviously do that in like the art help and critique channels and stuff like that.
I noticed that there's actually a gap between the breast and the lats or the rib cage when you're drawing arms.
Huh?
When you're drawing a female body and their arms are like going up, there's a gap. I used to think that like the breast would like go over like this, but that's way too big. It would actually there's actually a gap there.
All right.
Kitty's still here?
She's an enigma.
She just comes and disappears. But what I'm doing right here isn't really rocket science. It's just a lot of practice. Like, you guys can easily do this as well the more you practice. I find that with like also a mindset shift, also trying to find enjoyable parts in the studying. Like, I feel like people have a interesting concept of practice where they think practice has to be boring, but there are a lot of times where I will inject fun things into my practice. Like, I'll turn this into one of our characters, for example, and I'll put an outfit on them. But like, either way, I'm still practicing because I'm like, oh, maybe I focused this time on the torso this time, and I really wanted to try that, and it turned out good. So I'm just gonna make it fun and turn it into my character, and then it makes it even more fun and not as unenjoyable. Thank you, Dahlia. Do guys like that have to have hip dips? No, not have to. You can if you can add them if you want. I tend to add like a subtler version where I'll add like the obliques, and then I'll draw in the hip dip. But like there's like a subtle one, but it's not like super heavy. You don't have to. It's only up to you. It's only a stylistic choice. I would say it's going to be more common if you have a curvier character or like a more plus size character. The hip dips would be more important. Ooh, we got 4th of July dinner tomorrow.
Yippee! It's gonna be fun.
That's cute.
Huh?
No, just this drawing. It's kind of cute. I don't know. Looks like a aesthetic.
Haven't seen you both since last year almost. Awesome.
Wow, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Well, I'm kind of ready to wrap up.
Are you?
I want to work on my YouTube video.
Sounds good. I'm just doing some
Practice.
Yeah, just doing some arm.
Yeah. And then, you know, I think every drawing I'll start simple, like just planning to stop simple. But then what happens is I end up actually adding more than I originally thought. So once again, it's not like I'm drawing with the expectation that this is not going to be finished, or this is just going to be like this small thing, and then it grows into something bigger. That's actually what a lot of things happen with our projects is we'll start with something small, and then it ends up being this bigger thing. So sometimes it's like you don't have to draw everything all at once.
Yeah.
Bye, Ruby.
Someone's here. This feels like a poppy.
Yep, that's her.
Poppy, the only cat that rubs against us kind of in that way.
Yeah. I don't know which one is Ray, but the one I picked on the Discord roll. You mean like the
That's great.
Ray is this one right here.
Ray is Christina's character.
Ray is my character.
That
That's
one.
her. Hopefully you don't regret your decision.
If you want to see all the characters, you can go to the character reference channel, and you'll see posts of all the characters. You'll see Miki, Miko, Abby. Those are mine. Not Miko. Miki and Abby
are
my
his.
characters. And then both of our characters are like Miki, Miko, June, Tira, Naomi, Jake.
Miki's your character.
Miki is my character, yeah. Ray is Christina's character.
Abby is his character.
Just like a fun thing that we set up. Just all the roles for each of the characters. You can pick all of them or none of them. As long as Miki's one of them.
All of them or none of them. Actually, no, just Miki.
I should make it so Miki is like a required
Mandatory.
role.
That's
in order
literally
to be able to
Miki
talk.
tyranny. You gotta make it a choice. It's so funny. Would be better to practice if I had an iPad and an Apple Pen, because right now I'm just using my phone.
Technically, you can
You
practice on your phone. Like, I do practice on my phones. I did a whole bunch of Krenz cubes when I was waiting for Christina in the dentist. So like, you could practice on your phone. Like, here's some Krenz cubes I did on my phone in Pocket Procreate. And I also did this one time a long time ago in the mall, just like some really quick clothing studies. So like, you can, but it depends on what your goals are. I would really recommend, more than a phone, just get like a sketchbook and like a pencil. Sketchbook and pencil. You can even steal copy paper from like somewhere, like your school or something.
Maybe I'll draw one more torso.
But like, if you want to get an Apple Pencil and an iPad and stuff, like, by all means, go for it. Like, they're great. You don't need it in order to practice, though. How do you know where to put wrinkles and or shadows on clothes? Christina actually just put up a YouTube video on drawing clothes, and that's going to help a lot with that. If I had to go back and reinforce my fundamentals for art, in which order should I study them again? I would say that's entirely dependent on what your goals are.
Yeah.
If you want to be a character artist, you would probably start with different fundamentals than if you wanted to be like a landscape designer or like a car designer or like an artist that just draws, cars. Like, you would not need to learn anatomy if all you want to draw is cars. And you would not need to learn, like the techniques of transportation drawing if all you want to do is like character design. So I would say really ask yourself, what do I want to get good at? Like, what do I want to be able to do? And that would point you in the right direction. Almost always people want to have something to do with character and storytelling. So like composition, design, perspective, figure drawing, anatomy, color theory, costume drawing is what I would recommend starting with.
Dimensional drawing though. Because
dimensional drawing is
everything is dimensional drawing.
Yeah, like pretty much everything you're ever going to draw is going to be existing in 3D space, the illusion of 3D space. So you can never go wrong starting with perspective and dimensional drawing.
To go back and reinforce my... Okay. I also wouldn't overthink it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like some people would... not saying you're doing this or anything. I think that some people would be like, I have no idea where to start. I have to know the perfect plan in order to start drawing. Sometimes you just throw yourself.
Yeah, just draw. Just start drawing what you enjoy.
Yeah. No
Start
need to
from
get
there.
too anal about it.
Yeah, loving the brush so far. Awesome.
Yeah, awesome.
It is a really good brush. I find I constantly have to go back and refresh my fundamentals.
Yeah, well, I don't think you ever stop doing the fundamentals.
Yeah, definitely not.
I think a lot of people think that, oh, once you know the fundamentals, you just don't use it anymore. But you're constantly using it and have to reuse it, like, for every drawing.
Yeah, constantly refreshing, constantly learning stuff.
Aw, thanks, Mari. He said, I hope people realize this is world-class instruction here. Great lessons. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Well, we learn from great teachers as well. So we wouldn't be able to teach this stuff without learning from them. Just got out of work, so I'm off to get food. Yeah, no problem, Josh. Have a good day. Yes, that's right, Jenny. I'm glad that we have another Ray fan, and it's Jenny. Did Jenny ever draw Miki in her style?
I think so, yeah.
I think so.
For sure.
I just really
love
like
it.
her character, Minji. She's just so cute.
Yeah.
Litter robot just completed a clean cycle. We actually got to refill the litter hopper. Bye, Dahlia.
Have a good one.
Ooh, that'd be lovely, Jenny. So we're not doing challenges anymore, Master Magic, not the way how it was used to be run. So we're not doing challenges anymore. We might bring them back in some different way. Oh,
Looks like fireworks are going off.
Is it too much to be extremely young and have dramatic goals?
No, just don't beat yourself up if you don't hit them within a short amount of time. Otherwise, it can really lead to a toxic cycle.
Yeah. I think... I think sometimes having that, like, extremely young and dramatic goal thing is only particular for, like, how you view yourself. Because later on, you're not going to be extremely young anymore. You know?
Yeah, it's really dangerous to set yourself up for... Like, you can't give yourself expectations that are beyond human capabilities, because what ends up happening is you go maybe like, I'm super young and I'm going to be amazing at this by this age. And then if you don't end up hitting it, you can criticize yourself and end up this really toxic mindset of like, if you're not a superstar, then you're terrible or something. Like I developed that mindset for quite a while, where like I wouldn't just celebrate small wins. I would only consider myself successful is if I hit home runs, which you just can't hit them all the time. It's not possible. It's not humanly feasible. But you can like absolutely have these
Really good
big
goals.
ambitions and goals when you're young. Just make sure that you're not setting yourself up for a toxic mindset in the future. It can really set you back.
Yeah.
Celebrate your wins.
Celebrate where you are too.
Yeah,
Like,
celebrate where you are today.
and that's not being not ambitious. Like
Yeah.
I think there's a difference between like not being ambitious versus like, how do I say it?
Yeah.
I think even appreciating this one is part of being ambitious, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's part of it. But I think it's also like being realistic is you can't solve everything in one day in this short amount of time.
For me, my goals was to do character design with landscape backgrounds, and artist I really look to is Reno Tuna. Reno Tuna is great. It's one of my favorite artists, for sure. Yeah, I mean, in that case, like, really, really strong understanding of figure drawing, really, really strong understanding of shape design. You want to really build a visual library. Like, Reno Tuna has a great visual library. Visual library is like, you've drawn a lot of stuff, so you know what things look like, and you know why things look cool. And so that's something that Reno Tuna is really good at, is drawing things in a way that look cool. And the only way to understand why things look cool is to draw a bunch of different stuff from reference, study it. Like, what does this outfit look like, right? What does a blazer look like? What does a top hat look like? What shapes does it have? What forms does it have? So Reno Tuna has this really, really, really strong foundation in, all of like the general foundations. You got anatomy, figure drawing, shape design, color theory, value grouping, lighting. I think I already mentioned color theory. Just very, very, very well rounded, and also has a fantastic visual library. Very creative. So like, I would say probably start with those, but you should always be practicing. If that's your goal, I would recommend you should always be practicing strengthening foundation, like perspective, dimensional drawing. That's huge.
It is.
Huge. Figure drawing, drawing people, proportion, character design. Reno Tuna is really good at
He's
like
really
drawing
good at character
different
design.
body types. And no matter what body type you have the same muscles.
Yep.
Every body type has a bicep.
Yep.
Every body type has triceps. Every body type has obliques and pectoralis, and they'll be a different shape, they'll be a different size a little bit, but every single body type will have the same muscles. So you really only have to learn anatomy once.
And just repeat it a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Abigail, thank you for the follow.
Yes, thank you, Gab and Ghost Girl for the follow. Why do I feel like Miki will call herself Ghost Girl?
Ghost Girl. That's fun.
Lee Chad, thank you for the follow.
I would just do a bunch of studies like this.
Oh, that's good.
I'd just do a bunch of that sort of
Really
thing.
good.
Like, you really learn where muscles interlock together at. So
Yeah.
is that the that's the deltoid. So deltoid goes in and hooks in behind the bicep, but the pectoralis kind of goes in and hooks in below the deltoid. You know?
Just draw it really quick on here.
Yeah.
So there's the deltoid.
And that hooks in behind the bicep.
Okay.
And then the pectoralis kind of goes in and hooks in like in there or something. Like in a way. It's kind of, see, like, look. What does that look like with arm down?
I think it's actually up here.
Yeah, it's like behind the bicep, or and over the bicep under the deltoid.
Yeah. Here's your tricep.
It's like a little a cool thing. Like, if you want to learn how to draw, don't think about it as, oh my gosh, I have to get good. I have to be at this level or I'm a failure. Treat it like a puzzle. You're like, oh, so this muscle hooks under that muscle. Oh, you know what I mean? Like, think about it in that way and you'll never want to stop learning. You're like, oh my gosh, like you're looking through books and looking through things and going, oh my gosh, okay, I get it. Like, this goes there. Instead of being like, oh my gosh, I have to know this really boring stuff that I don't enjoy at all in order to be a great artist so I can be impressive.
To others.
Like,
or to myself.
yeah, treat it like a puzzle.
Yeah.
Treat it like you're doing it to enjoy it, to appreciate and understand the world.
Yeah. Well, I think as a teacher, I think I've started to learn how to be more that way because I want to make sure that I'm teaching the right stuff.
Yeah.
So in order to teach the right stuff, I have to study it. But I don't necessarily think of the studying part as now I have to learn how to do this.
Oh no, I have to learn hands. It's like
I have to figure it out so I can teach it.
Exciting puzzle to learn.
Yeah, and
when your only objective is to be good, everything in between is like this drudgery.
Yeah.
But if you want to eventually get good, but you instead focus on learning and exploring and having fun, everything in between is exciting, and so you want to get up and study because it's fun. Instead of being like, oh, I have to get up and study in order to be good.
It's almost like you're treating the good part as this, like, I want this instant gratification. And then it's like, oh, but I have to do all the boring stuff. And of course, like, when you're in your imagination, you want to be good, it feels good. But then you realize the steps to take there is not as glorious. And that's when things are like, I don't feel like practicing.
Yeah.
But when you just eliminate
Oh, that's
that,
fun.
Oh, wow.
That's the drawing using the
Yay.
brush.
Awesome.
DAA brush. That's fun. Nice drawing. I like it.
Yeah.
That's fun. You'll get along with the other members very well.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Saturn when you need her? Saturn would be like, awooga.
Awooga. Oh, yeah,
Very
for
nice
sure.
work, Nat. How do you draw man arm? Like I've been struggling on the anatomy. You can honestly just show like what I drew.
Oh, yeah, sure. Go ahead. I'll do it. Let me just merge all this stuff.
If you want, like,
Oh, yeah.
Who did I send it to? You? I think I just shared it in like art share. I honestly should start saving these things.
So this is one how this how
Here,
he
these.
broke it down. So what he did was he simplified. Let's see, this is a pretty good example. He started with something that was very simple, which is just like these two rectangles. So let me find one. Kind of looks like this. Side, front, and he just combined
That's
it and
the
turned them
upper
into...
arm right there.
Yeah, that's the upper arm.
So the upper arm is wider from the side than it is the front or the back. So start with this rectangle, and then the lower arm starts as a cylinder and then turns into a box at the wrist.
Yep.
And that's like your base form that you start with. And then you kind of sculpt the muscles out of that base form.
These are great. I love these. These are so good.
That's how I break down arms.
So like, look, you can see this rectangle right here. There's one, there's two, and he just adds the forms. Whoops, he just adds the forms on top, like the bicep, the tricep, the deltoid. Here's the brachioradialis, which is this little section right here. Elbow, very simple, just blocky, like right there, rectangle that gets a little bit thinner. And you just add on top, which creates that muscular feel. Let me see here. Where's some other ones? Oh yeah, this is really good. I really like your stuff here. So here, deltoid, tricep, brachioradialis, forearm, which is kind of looks like a drumstick, like that. So you can just simplify the forearm just like a drumstick. So if I'm going to just draw this really quick. What he's done.
Yeah. It is like a drumstick. Here, this is
go
one
ahead.
that I just sketched out. So
Starts out like that.
there's that box, and then of the upper arm, then the lower arm is like a cylinder, and then it turns into a box at the wrist. And then you can just add your anatomy on top of this type of thing, right? Like your tricep comes out here, your deltoid hooks in kind of like that. I'm kind of drawing at a weird angle
I'm
now.
gonna draw it.
I think I got it.
And the more bulkier you make the muscles, the more
Yeah.
it's gonna look like muscular.
And so then your radiobrachialis is here. It connects on your upper arm. Then your elbow
that's it.
would kind of be like that. It just kind of connects in like that. Another way that you can think about the upper arm and the lower arm is these kind of interlocked. Where's my phone at? These interlocked shapes. Like this.
Forms.
Yeah, these interlocked forms that are like almost like a chain link. That people have described them as chain links. A lot of people break them down that way, where it's just like your upper arm is a chain sideways, your lower arm is a chain the opposite way, and and then your wrist is a chain back in the same direction of the upper arm. Of course, your wrist will, rotate like this, so that chain will change directions. But it's kind of like that. I like that breakdown a lot.
I like that too.
That's a really, really nice way to think about it. I'm gonna draw that again, actually, just to reinforce that.
I'm gonna take a kitty break. Stretch.
I'll just come over here so chat has something to look at. And I'm just gonna redraw this same exact thing that I drew last night just to kind of reinforce that. Right, here's that box of the upper arm. Here's the chain link of the lower arm coming around. Here's that form, chain link like this. Box coming out again like that. Here's the hand, thumb. You can group the fingers however you want. Deltoid kind of comes and is like another chain link on top, like this. Like that. So it's like the arm kind of looks like that. And of course, this part right here is like your radiobrachialis coming over on the top of your arm. These were some other little stuff that I was drawing during stream, just studying from the books or whatever. And you can see that, like, you can break it down on both sides, kind of like that. There's that. And there's that one, same kind of chain link mentality. There's another little breakdown of it.
Ooh.
It's all really the same thing.
Is that yours?
Yeah, this.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Actually made a new brush last night. I kind of like it a lot.
Really?
Yeah, I was drawing it with this.
Oh.
It's got this like texture to it. I mean, I've had the brush, but I changed some settings in order to make it more like the GSS Blade 1.
I think your stuff kind of really reminds me of like Michael Hampton's like stuff.
Does it?
Yeah.
Michael Hampton tends to use a really small brush a lot of the time.
Mm.
But yeah, you can think about it like that. It helps a lot. I need to get back to drawing my sketchbook. Mm-hmm. You want to wrap up?
Yep. Let's move on to show something a bit more aesthetic.
Ooh, there's Ray. We'll move on to Ray. Yeah, maybe we'll go ahead and wrap up. Ezana, hello.
Thank you for joining, even though it's at the very late bit of stream.
All right. Well, yeah. Thanks everybody for showing up. We were live for holy moly, 3 hours and 40 minutes. That's wild. Joining from Australia.
Australia. Welcome.
I had a girl in my class when I was in school who was from Australia. She was from Wollongong, I think. She would always go, "Oh, Colton, can you give me a glass of water?" And I'd be like, "Oh yeah." She's funny. Her name was Stephanie. She was a teacher.
Oh.
Yeah. And then my roommate Dennis was from Australia as well.
Fun.
He was the one that opened my mind to the comedy of WWE. I never got it before he explained it to me. He was like, "No, it's just the whole thing's a big joke. Like it's like they pretend it's serious, but it's a big joke." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh." Saying hi from Guatemala. Hello.
Hi. Thanks, Renee.
This was pretty helpful. Thanks. Thanks.
I'm glad. We had a little bit of a heart-to-heart.
Joining from Kazakhstan.
Wow.
You know, one of the most looked up to artists in the entire industry that I'm from is from Kazakhstan originally.
Wow.
His name is Jama Jarayabov.
Oh, really? I didn't know he was from
Yeah,
there.
he's from Kazakhstan. New Zealand,
New Zealand.
Portugal. Awesome.
Whoa. So many
Simple
different
sketches.
places.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, these are Christina's sketches. I don't know if I have any on this page. No, I don't have any on this page.
I like
We're just
the
finding something
I should've
aesthetic.
put Mickey on that. That was pretty good.
She'd go Australia.
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 Australia. I don't know. I can't do it anymore. It's been like 10 years. When will the next stream be? Probably Friday.
Actually, we don't know because we have dinner tomorrow. Remember? For the
Oh
chicken.
yeah, we're actually not streaming tomorrow. Now that I think about it, because tomorrow's din with the family.
Yeah.
So yeah, I forgot. Today's Thursday. I thought tomorrow was Thursday for some reason.
It felt like a Wednesday. Well,
Yeah.
we didn't stream Wednesday, so
Well,
we streamed today.
I've actually enjoyed streaming so much more right now that I think we're just gonna go live more often.
Honestly,
I think we're
yeah.
just gonna allow ourselves to go through a phase where we go live a lot more often. What
And
do you guys
whenever
think
we
of that?
want.
Just like stream whenever we feel like it.
And not really pressure ourselves to like do a specific topic. We'll just like kind of.
We'll probably do more stuff like this.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. It sounds pretty fun. I'll do like a bunch of my own personal studying and art and sketches during stream. Then we'll probably work on some YouTube.
Oh, that sounds like a dream.
Chill streams are cool.
I can't believe I'm actually saying that.
Well, yeah, it does sound like a lot of fun.
There's actually a lot more people that came here today.
Yeah.
To stream.
I think it was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Streaming kind of became a job for a while.
it kind of did.
And it was kind of like a little bit drudgery.
Mm-hmm.
And lately, with like a really big mindset shifts and everything, things have just been a lot more enjoyable. Drawing, teaching, streaming, making videos. It's been like a lot more of a healthy mindset, healthy mentality. There's a lot of people on YouTube, 28 right now.
Oh wow.
Joining from Canada, awesome.
Canada.
Who is all on
nice.
YouTube right now? Do you think you'll ever do a Gardic phone draw with us? Man, we haven't played Gardic phone since we started streaming over a year ago. Maybe.
Yeah.
That could be fun. Guga, good night. Dang. The Gardic phone would be kind of fun, actually. See, like, YouTube's doing really well today. 660 views.
Wow, really already?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It's wild.
It's probably because the recent videos that have been uploaded
Maybe
that are doing
so.
decently.
It's possible. That's good to know.
That's a fun race sketch.
Thank you.
Yada, yada.
Yada yada.
This is fun. That could be in, like, the book.
In the book?
Yeah, like a book or something. That's like a book illustration where it's like
Oh.
teaching anatomy.
Oh, thank you. That actually could be a good one. I wouldn't mind making like an anime anatomy book where it's like side by side.
Yeah.
Peck.
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 Delt.
Delt. Abbreviations. I don't think they can see that. Yeah, we're about to wrap up Cha-Cha, but we can ask that question next time when we stream. Coloring would be kind of fun to talk about. Yeah, no problem. Toru Sato, thank you for joining. Abby's. Ooh, obliques. Forgot to do obliques.
No, I got it here.
Oh, okay. Hey, gentle mage. Yeah, we're still live somehow, Dahlia. We're about to wrap up. And then we'll probably be 30 more minutes later.
Yeah. That's like your basic muscles. Like,
Yeah, that's your basic muscles.
you really don't need to learn a lot of different muscles.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would love to actually have a number of like the main muscles. It's probably like less than 50. Like of the main muscles, like the main muscle group.
Yeah, the main muscle groups, like the ones that we always draw.
I don't want to count them right now, honestly. I'm going to get distracted and then we're going to be live for another 45 minutes. I have to... Self-control.
Self-control.
Yeah, we'll be live another time. Soon. I've been really enjoying live streaming, doing chill stuff, sketching, drawing, having fun. So I think that'll be it for today.
Yep.
Chat.
Chwat. Don't forget to check out our anime art school.
Yes.
You never heard of us?
We do have a complete set of classes online that will teach you a lot of different stuff: anatomy, figure drawing, facial expressions, anime, illustrations, character design, color theory, rendering, perspective, all that kind of stuff.
You need.
Yes, all those fundamentals. If you're interested in those kind of things, you can find it on our site, drawanime.com.
You wanna draw your comic. Draw your series.
Anime.com. Yeah, and it's called Anime. You'll see a little button that says Anime Art School. And yeah, a lot of people really enjoy it. If you want to like a recorded version of all of this stuff in depth, we've got it. So yeah, Dahlia is a student as well. Yes.
She's done
a lot of students here on our that come on our lives and everything. So if you're interested in, eventually getting to that level that you really want to get to, and you think it would be fun to learn, and you can check it out there.
How much is the art school?
$497
US dollars.
Yep.
497.
Yep. It's got a whole bunch of different classes. They're like it's basically a 1 year long program. It's like you go through these different classes that are 14-week terms, and it's structured like a college. It's basically an entire college worth of education, except you can go through it at your own pace, and you get really, really big classes that teach you, literally all this kind of stuff in depth. This would be in like the anatomy class, for example.
And if you do get anime art school,
yeah, I forgot about that.
Watercolor.
Yeah, so people who get the anime art school actually get a set of both of our books signed and a watercolor drawing done live on stream, just like this. And then we mail it to you, and we cover the shipping. So a lot of people have taken advantage of that, and they really like it. See, here's book number 2, and it covers a lot of stuff. Like, this is our book that we published. Here's Victor. Here's, it covers a bunch of facial expressions and everything. So then we go in the front of it, and we sign it, like right here. And we mail it to you. There's Miki. And yeah, these are our 2 books. Ooh, a bunch of costume stuff. Yeah. Books are also for sale. Yes, they are on Amazon. If you look up Anime Academy, How to Draw Manga, you'll find our books. One of them has a girl with a orange sweater, and one of them is the one that I just showed you. And everybody who gets our school gets them for free, and it gets mailed to them with a watercolor drawing.
Of their character.
Yeah, of your own character. Like, you'll send references. Christina will do your character live in watercolor with this exact brush.
So I can't wait to use it. So we're gonna be doing Katsua's sometime.
Yes. Yeah, it's really fun. It turns into a really fun thing, But otherwise, we stream here for free. We teach all this kind of stuff. Hang out, have fun, chat. Just Master Magic.
Oh, yeah.
All right, everybody. I'm going to get back to probably figuring out how to record VR. I've downloaded a mod for Cyberpunk 2077 that allows you to play it in virtual reality. And I'm going to be making a YouTube video about perspective using footage of the game played in VR. And I'm trying to figure out how to do it exactly. It's going to be kind of fun. Oh, awesome. Save for it later. Since I'm mostly college already for dev. Nice.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, fun stuff. All right, everybody. We'll talk to you later. Have a good night, and we'll see you sometime soon. Maybe Monday. I don't think we're streaming tomorrow. Maybe if we get home in time, we can stream tomorrow night, but I don't know.
We'll see.
We will see. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I'm going to end TikTok first. So, bye-bye, TikTok. Have a good night. And then YouTube, I'm also gonna end you